So we're live on YouTube, and I'll record this too, just so we have a.
It probably was my Wi-Fi, bro.
Why is it? Does it look clear to you now?
Yeah, it looks good now.
Cool. Live on YouTube real quick too. Okay, it's on YouTube now. Yeah, it's kind of cool how they have this, because then I could go live on YouTube and I could go live on Facebook too.
So that's tight.
I mean, we'll just run it on YouTube, see how it goes, and then I'll try the other ones later. Let's we got about 10 people in here now, plus me and Aaron. So let's give it a little bit more time, and then we can get started. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A. We're using the new Zoom. This Zoom is specifically for webinars, so I'm not sure how it looks on your guys' end. I'm not sure if it's different. Aaron, does it look the same for the most part?
Yeah, it looks the same.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm not sure like how the Q&A works. Aaron, is the Q&A, is it the same how it was before, like a chat box, or is it a little different?
It looks pretty much the same. It's not really different.
All right, cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want me to look over anything specific, feel free to put it in the Q&A, and then we can go over the pairs or any topics. Otherwise, I'm gonna start scanning the chart soon for entries. The 4-hour candle closed in about an hour, so I'm just gonna go down the chart and see if there's any entries, and then I'm gonna just mark them up prior to the candle closing, so we can take it. So it's like our odd CHF position is, looks like it pulled back a little bit on that one candle. So it's still got probably about 50 pips to go until full TP, but it's looking good so far. Check what else we got. Our odd JPY that I just posted. Yeah, if you guys were in this last position for Monday, it hit TP1 already. So, I mean, once it hits TP1, we always advise to either exit or move stop loss and profit. So everyone should have gotten stopped out and profit already. It doesn't mean that I necessarily think it's gonna reverse. What might happen here is it might come down, and then it might pull back up. So I think it's still a good position, because if you look at it from a bigger scale, let's see, it looks like it's in a decent uptrend for the most part. All right, cool. So we got a couple questions, so I'm gonna go over those right now. Let's see. I'm gonna close some of my windows just so it's like my thing's starting to lag a little bit, but if I close some of these windows, it should be fine. Cool. So I'm gonna go over Andy's question first. He said to go over US 30, and then after that, I'll go to Dennis' question for GPP odd, and then after that, I'll go over Gullies for UJ. So let's go over US 30 real quick. So if you guys took my 1-a-day trade for the US 30 earlier, you guys probably locked in some nice profits. I locked in about 1,500 pips. I know a couple other people locked in a little more. They held on to it. But pretty much for my US trades, I know before I used to scalp it, and I used to make a lot of money just scalping it. But I figured it was a lot less stressful and easier to just trade it once a day. So basically now when I trade US 30, I only trade it once a day. I trade it on the open of the New York Stock Exchange, and then I usually close out before market closes. So it's usually between 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time to 2 p.m. Same time zone. So let's look at US 30 real quick. David said, are we closing AJ? No, we're not. If you're in for a sell, or David, are you in for a buy or for a sell? Because we posted a buy last Monday, but we posted a sell just now. So I'm still in both trades. I know they're going opposite of each other, but I think I can make enough. There's enough cushion for me to hit TP in both directions. So let me try to zoom into this. So for US 30, it looks like it's still in a, well, it's kind of ranging. I'm not sure if you guys follow the stock news, but over the weekend, Warren Buffett sold off all of his airline stocks, and that's kind of what caused the drop on Monday right here. But then it started to bounce back. So I'm looking on the 4-hour chart. This might be too far of a range for you guys because shit, my computer's running so slow. I'm gonna let it load a little bit. So yeah, this range might be too far for you guys because a lot of you guys trade it on the intraday and go on the shorter time frames. So it looks like it came down, test this K2SR level, and then right when you open this chart, it looked like there was a buy signal right here. So what I'm thinking is it rejected off the support, and it's probably gonna push up to test this resistance right here. Or it might even come back down and test the support again. It would just depend on where current price is on the close of this candle. Looks like this candle just opened. So it's probably going to range within these two zones right here. So until you get some type of extra confirmation, then I probably wouldn't enter anything yet. When we're trading on the shorter time frames, we usually trade off the K2 signal. So as you can see right here, price rejected off this K2SR. So if we get a buy signal, then I'm going to anticipate it to shoot upwards like it did right here. So price rejected off this support level right here, which was plotted by the K2SR indicator. And then after you got this buy signal, it really shot up straight up. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating right here. Once you get a buy signal, there isn't really a catalyst right now to really give you confidence as to the direction of price. Right here, we do have a strong bearish candle, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to come down. So it looks like, so for our JPY position, it hit 10 pips in profit. So I'm going to send out a message to the group real quick. I'm going to share that trade with the public members. It was only shared with the premium, but now that it's hit 10 pips, I'll share with you guys in the public. So let me just send this over real quick. All right. So let's give the premium members an update that OJPY has passed that price point, and then I'm going to share it with you guys in the public if you guys aren't in premium. But yeah, we locked in. I mean, we've been locking in a lot of wins this whole week. So if you guys aren't in premium and you guys want to, it's probably the best time because we've been hitting nothing but profit targets every day. So let's see. I'll go back to US 30. So like I said, there's no real catalyst right now telling which direction price is going. We did get a sell signal right here. It did break the support and it came down, but it came down and rejected off this support right here. So the thing is, price might come up and test this resistance before coming back down, but it does look like it's an overall trend. So what I would wait for, if you guys do have access to the K2 indicators, I would wait for a buy signal like we have right here, because as you can see, when price bounces off a support or some type of structure right here, there was some sort of structure. Let me get the rectangle tool. So right here, looks like support was established in here. So as soon as it bounced off this structure and you got a buy signal, it shot upwards. Similar to right here, looks like there's a structure that developed right here. It was low, high, and low right here. So there was another structure that established right there, and then once we got a buy signal, it shot to the moon. Similar right here, bounced off support, a buy signal, shot up. So right here, it rejected off the support. So what I would be waiting for is for a buy signal, and then once a buy signal is fired, then I can anticipate it to shoot even farther. So I wouldn't necessarily enter US 30 just because obviously it's right here in the middle, it's indecisive. So without that buy signal, you don't really have, you know, a confirmed direction. Like what could happen here is price can come up or price can go down. So this is a pretty big area. Let me see how much space is in between. So it's about a 1500 pip range right here. So I mean, unless you know you're really confident with the direction price is going to move, I personally wouldn't enter it right now. I would wait for extra confirmation. So if you guys are looking at US 30, sit tight, wait for some type of confirmation to be established, because even though it's in an uptrend right here, it can still pull down. So if it does pull down, you'll be in a drawdown for about, you'll be in a drawdown about 1,000 pips. So that's US 30 for you right now. There's no real direction set, so I would just sit tight on that. So let's go to the next question. All right, so to Dennis, to look at GA real quick. So I'm going to pull up GA. We actually have a lot of for GA right now, so that'd be a good thing to analyze. Yeah, so it looks like GA. I'm gonna go on the 4-hour. I don't really like looking on the lower time frames right now because of the current market conditions. So what I see right now is that price rejected off the support. The reason why we took this was because this bearish candle right here closed below the support. So I was anticipating to come down. I think this is just a minor pullback. And I think probably after this candle, it's going to come on down. But since there's no structure to really base anything off, let's go on the shorter time frames just so I can draw a catalyst for as to where price is going to move from. So let me turn off the A2 signals. It looks like price came up right here and then it broke this resistance. But as you can see right here, there's a pretty strong structure that was plotted by the K2SR indicator. So what we can anticipate is price rejecting off this area right here. Since we already have a double top right here, this could be a triple top if it comes up again. So as it comes up right here, I can see it reject and shoot straight down. Let me pull up the, yeah, so right now we have a buy signal. So this is, a temporary momentum swing upwards. So what I anticipate is that it's going to come down after. As you can see right here, it's in a pretty strong downtrend. It looks like it started to consolidate a little bit right here. But I do see it coming down. So if this wasn't established as the double top, and if this comes up right here, which looks like it's going to, if we see a rejection off this zone right here, we can probably see it pushing down. So let me take off the SRs. So this will just clean it up a little bit so you guys can see things better. And that's pretty much what I see right there. I don't really see it pushing any farther up. You go on the 1 hour to see if it looks any different. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. Let me look at the SR on there as well. So yeah, the support resistance levels plotted by the K2SR indicator are pretty much in the same area. So as you can see right here, price came up, came down, came up, rejected off the support. It looks like it's going to bounce up right here and then reject before coming back down. So if you guys are in this position that I called earlier, it's in a bit of a drawdown. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's in a drawdown about 65 pips, which is not too bad because GA moves really fast. So the pip worth isn't as much as a major pair. So they're not like if I'm trading like a standard lot, it's not going to be 10 bucks per pip. It's gonna be a little less. Or if you're trading like a micro, it's not going to be $1 per pip. It's going to be a little less than that. That's pretty much what I see happening for GA. So we probably just have to give it some more time. And then I think once the Australian market goes into full swing, then it'll probably push it down. But I do see a strong structure right here. So I wouldn't be too worried in this position. And if you aren't, you can always put your sell stop right here and catch it as it comes down. So let me see what we got next. So next I'm going to check out Gully's request. Gully wants us to look over UJ, the buys from earlier. So let's see. Gully, did we, Aaron, do you know if we called UJ today? I don't remember calling any UJ.
We didn't call UJ today.
Yeah, Gully.
We were talking about it like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. So that call, if you were in the price action group, that might have been called by Honest. But we'll look at it anyways, just to take a quick glance. So let's go to Jared. So our KJPY hit TP1. I'm gonna post the or Aaron, can you just do it real quick?
I got you, bro.
KJPY just hit TP1. AJ hit TP1 also. We both hit 2 TPs right now. If you guys are in premium, you guys are deep in profit this whole week. I think we're in profit at least 500 pips already. So if you guys are trading, wow, look at that, Aaron. Straight to
what happened? Another one?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, David was asking about AJ, so
man, that one dropped hard.
I know. So if you guys are in premium, we're in profit from AJ. Let's see.
AJ, CJ, and EJ.
Yep. So we hit TP1 for AJ, and then we hit TP1 for CJ as well. Oh shit! Look at CJ, dude. I'm in profit, very nice. So this is my profit on my small account. This is just my my weekend money account, I like to call it. But I also have this position open on my big account where I'm taking standard lots. So, damn, this shit's dropping fast, dude.
Hey, check out EJ, bro.
Oh yeah, EJ too.
I forgot about that one, bro.
Oh, I'm profit.
Oh, let me see. Hold on, it's loading up. Ooh.
Let me see what my profits are looking like. Man, fucking GA
nice.
is negative, but it's all good. I mean, I know GA is gonna come back. GC is gonna come back, but yeah, I'm in profit 72 on this. It's about to hit TP1. Oh, is nice. Aaron, post those results.
Hey, I'm posting right now, bro. I'm happy too, bro. I'm happy too.
You're too slow, bro. Come on, we got lots of profits coming right now. We got 30 pips on this one. AJ, we got about 25 pips on this one. How much do we got on CJ? Ooh, we got another 25 pips on this. So, I mean, if you guys aren't in premium, you guys are sleeping. It's your loss because we've been winning for the past, I don't even know how long. So, I mean, if you guys don't want to join premium, it's cool because I'm making profits regardless. Dang, that's crazy, bro. Everything is hitting TPs like left and right. Derek, premium's $50. $50 a month if you want to just have the signals. If you want to have access to the K² strategy, so you can apply, the same strategy that we use for all of our signals, then it'll be $50 for the first month, and then it'll be $150 a month every month after if you want to keep enrolled. But then you'll have access to all of my K2 indicators. So you'll have access to this momentum indicator that basically tells you which direction price is moving. Also, you'll have access to the K2 trend meter right here, which shows you the overall trend on 4 different time frames. So depending on how you trade, I usually have these set to the intraday settings to the 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. And then if price is trending in a specific direction on all 4 time frames, then the trend meter down here will turn a specific color. So if it's red, that means that it's trending downwards on all those 4 time frames. And as you can see right here, price is pushing down pretty heavy. If it's green, that means that price is trending upwards on those 4 time frames. So right here, you can see price pushed up pretty strong. And when it's blue, that means that the trend is neutral. So as you can see right here, price was consolidating and ranging sideways. On top of that, you're going to get the K2SR indicator. So let me take off the momentum indicator. And right here, as you can see, these horizontal lines, these are lines that are plotted by the K2SR indicator. K2SR is just short for K2 support resistance. And what it does, it automatically plots the strongest support resistance price points on the chart for you. So this is really good because then you can identify, where price is going to reject from. So say if you got, if you put all these together and you know which direction momentum's going. So right here, if you got this buy signal, you can take a buy. And then you can have your target around this area because these SR lines are going to be plotted. So you can have your target like right here, so you can exit right before price rejects off this area. And you can see how accurate it is because price will come up, rejects off here, and shoot straight down. And then you pretty much do the same thing on the direction downwards. So right here, if you got to sell, you could take a sell position, and then as price gets near these zones down here, you can have your prop target right here. So pretty much if you took this position right here, you could have wrote it down about 40, 50 pips, exited, and then wait for the next entry. And that's pretty much what we did right here. So right here, I knew that momentum was going down. So we entered this position right here, and then we wrote it down to the next zone, which is down here. And that's probably where it's going to hit. So it's probably going to come down. We're going to lock in about 45 pips. We're going to get out, do the same thing over and over again. So let me see. See what else we got here. Oh yeah, sorry, Gully. So Gully, we're going to go over UJ. Sorry, we just got a little excited with our profits because we've been hitting CP back and forth. So let's see. Aaron, you posting up the profits?
I just posted it right now.
All right, cool.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and then share it to the public groups too, so everyone else sees. But yeah, let me go back to UJ. I'm sure UJ is dropping because all of our JPY pairs are dropped down pretty heavy. So yeah, this is a trade that I like. Oh, actually, did we call this here? I can't remember. I like UJ.
UJ? I don't know. We were talking about it the other day, bro. I don't know why we didn't call it. I don't know. It could have been because of the news or something.
Yeah, so I marked it up. I don't know why I marked it up, but it might have been because of the news. But yeah, I mean, if we took this position, same strategy I was just talking about, we have a sell momentum. I pretty much wrote it down to support. And if I did, support was right, would hit TP right here for about 30 pips. But unfortunately, we didn't. So yeah, what'd you say, Aaron?
Hey, Tracy says she's trying to join a chat or the Zoom call.
Oh, you want to give her the link?
All right.
Yeah, just send her the link, or it's in the public too if she doesn't see it. But yeah, let me get back to UJ.
Oh, she's in here.
She's in here.
Yeah.
For UJ, I mean, it's clearly in a pretty strong downtrend. The trend meter down here is red, so you know it's clearly in a downtrend. So let me just close this real quick. Go full screen. Yeah, so if you guys took this entry, I don't know if I dropped this. I might have dropped this, but I might have not. But you know, this is a clear, strong push downwards. So we have a market structure right here, and then we have another market structure right here. And I mean, you could draw these manually, but you know, since we have the K2SR, we already know which direction price is moving. So I mean, these aren't really necessary to be drawn on the chart. So we do have the SR levels drawn for us, and then we have the momentum indicator, pretty much telling us what direction price is moving. So it looks like price just broke this support right here. So depending on where this candle closes, if it closes below this support level, I'm anticipating it to push down further down here. So pretty much what I'm going to do is once this candle closes, I might call another sell signal right here if it closes below the support, because I'm anticipating it to push down to the next level right here. So how many pips is that? Yeah, it'd be a cool little entry for about 36 pips. I might even push it down even further. But if you're looking at UJ, I definitely would only take a sell for it. I mean, it would depend on how this candle closes. If this candle closes above the support, then that's a whole different story because if it doesn't break and confirm below support, then it's probably going to come up, test the resistance again before it comes down for another try. But I do see it coming down. This is a really strong bearish candle. So if it does, I see it coming down either to test this support or to push down even further. EJ hit TP1, got another one, Aaron.
You said EJ?
Yeah, dude. We just hit 4 TPs like back to back to back right now. That's crazy.
Like in 20 minutes, huh?
Yep. That's what I call money. And then we stay winning. All right, so yeah, pretty much. Okay. It's dropping pretty heavy. It might even drop past the support. So, this candle closed in about 40 minutes. I'd probably check it closer to the close of the candle, but it does look like it's going to keep pushing down. So if you are looking to enter a UJ, I would enter a sell. And then the first structure is going to be, what was on the line? So the first structure is going to be right here. It's going to be at 105.926. And then after that, there's no real structure. So if it breaks below this structure right here, I mean, this should go to hell. It could drop so far down. So if it breaks this structure and closes below this support, then I mean, it could drop pretty far. And let me zoom out to just see how the chart looks. Yeah, so it's got a long way to go. Once it breaks this support right here, the next area where it can reject from is going to be 103.084. So personally, I would just take some sells and stack that up because it looks like it's going to be dropping. There's a lot of structure here that was marked up by the K2SR. We have a structure up here. We have a structure right here. Structure right here. And then there's another structure right here too. So it looks like it's going to keep pushing down. So UJ looks good. If you're in for a sell, if you're looking to enter, I would definitely enter a sell. It's got a long way to go down. So even if you enter late, right now it still has about, I think 30 pips I said, from the next structure. Yeah, so it's a nice move. If you want to scalp that, you can scalp that down for like, 10, 15 pips, make a quick profit, and call it a day. But yeah, that's what I think for UJ. So let me see what else we got on the list. Next up, we got David. I just saw we kind of went over AJ earlier. Let's see. David, do you still want us to look over AJ, or are you good with that? Yeah, AJ hit TP1. So if you're in that position that I called earlier in premium, it looks like it's dropping down to TP2. So how many pips are we from full TP? We're only about 20 pips, 22, 23 pips. So I think it's definitely going to drop down a little farther to come down to trigger our full TP. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. We have about 30 minutes left on this candle. So once we get closer to the close of this candle, I'll start scanning for some more entries to post up as signals. Otherwise, I'll just keep going down the list. So let's see. I went over GA already. So Jackson said, what do you think about our GA position? So yeah, Jackson, I went over GA earlier. I think it's going to come up, test that little zone area, or it looks like it broke it actually. So it might be, I would give it some time. We still have some time in this candle, so I'm going to give it some more time to breathe, and then I'll check on it because it looks like it's rejecting off the zone that I drew earlier on the 1 hour. So if it does reject, then I definitely see it shooting downwards. So we'll give some more time to GA. Well, let me look real quick. So GC, same situation. It looks like the pound is just really weak right now because GA is going up, GC is going up, GCHF is going sideways. That's what GU is looking like. GU is going sideways. GN's kind of coming down, going sideways. GJ is going down. I mean, it looks like it's just because it clearly came down from right here. So we have a strong structure up here. And it came down, just looks like it's retracing up a little bit. But it does look like it's coming back down. So GA and GC are moving in the same direction. Same situation here. As you can see.
What, bro?
What'd you say here?
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. I thought you called my name.
Oh, no, yeah, so for GC, it's pretty much the same chart. So right here, it pushed up and it came down. It's just retracing a little bit. Same with GA. It pulled up a little bit down and it's starting to retrace a little bit, but I think it's going to come back down. So GA, I would give it some more time. After this candle closes, then we can look at it from a better perspective because these are just two bullish candles, so it still looks like a little retracement upwards. I can go on the shorter time frames and see what it's probably gonna be the same setup. So trying to see what the structure. This is 1 hour. Let's turn on the indicators. So we didn't get a buy signal on yet. I think we got one on GA. Yeah, so we did get a buy signal on GA. I'm anticipating that to actually disappear. I think it's going to pull down a little bit once we get closer to the close of the candle. So right now, I still think it's still a sell. More so because CJ hasn't given the buy signal. If it was a really strong buy push and the pound was strength, then I would see both of them with the buy signal. But since I don't, I think this is just small push upwards, a little retracement, and then I see it rejecting. So right here, it's getting close to this resistance right here. What I think is going to happen is it's going to reject off this zone, and then it's going to come back down. GA doesn't have a zone right there, but I think on the 1 hour when we were looking at it, it looked like there was resistance right here, or no, it was somewhere lower. It was like somewhere right here. So I'm anticipating this to reject off. You can see right there, there's a pretty strong wick on top. It's coming down. So I would wait for this candle to close in about 30 minutes, and then we'd see how it moves from there. But I'm not too worried about GA or GC. They're both moving in the same direction. So if there's structure here for GC, that same structure is probably going to be where it rejects from on GA as well. So I'll just give it some more time. But I'll look at it again as we get closer to the close of the candle. Charles wants us to look at gold, so let me look at gold real quick. I think we still have that position active. All right, cool. So for gold, we do have a buy position active right now. This was marked up about 2 days ago. We entered this trade on the 4th, which was yesterday afternoon, I think. So we marked this up on Sunday or Monday. And after we saw this rejection off this zone right here, and then we got a, what did we get? Actually, no. So we determined this entry from right here. So what I saw is I saw a low established right here, and then we got a buy signal. And then once price broke this resistance right here, this is where we decided to make an entry off this candle. I think some people got out already when it shot up. So let me see how many pips it shoot up. It shot up about 500. Yeah, about 500, or I guess this is 56.6 pips.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people got out around that area. But I mean, if people are still in this trade, I still see it coming upwards. It just looks like it's going sideways though. So there isn't really a real direction established. Even if this candle closes bearish with a buy signal, if it's followed with a buy candle, then I still anticipate it to come down because it's kind of similar to what we saw right here. So right here we got a sell signal, but it was a bullish candle, but it was followed with two bearish candles, and then after that it started dropping pretty heavy. So that's pretty much what I see right here. Even though this candle doesn't close as a valid buy, and if it does close bearish, then I still anticipate it to shoot on upwards. But just looking at it, from a bird's eye view, there isn't really any direction, but it does look like it's going upward. So if we draw some trend lines right here, and then I take the indicators off the chart, that's pretty much what I see happening. So when you first got into this trade and it rejected off here, I had the arrow pointing up like this, and that's pretty much exactly where it went. Made some rejection, little pullback, and then it shot on upwards. That's pretty much what I see happening right here. I see it continuing on upwards. I don't really see it pulling back too far, and if it does, It'll probably pull back, reject off this trend line, and then shoot on upwards. But let me check how many pips is it from this trend line. Well, it's only about 300, or I guess this is 44 pips. So it's not too far. And there we go. We have did it disappear? No, it's still there. So this is pretty much what I see right here. We're probably not going to see much movement during Asia. I'm sure if you're familiar with trading, gold or any other pair during Tokyo session, it moves pretty slow. So we could probably anticipate a bigger move once we get closer to London. So I just keep an eye on it. If you still have that buy position that we called, I think on Monday, I think you're still in a good position, right? But what I would do is once price moves up in profit, then I would move your stop loss in profit. So you wouldn't be stuck in something like it. Because even if you got stopped out in profit, you can make a re-entry right here as price came back up. But yeah, it does have a buy bias, so let me zoom out. It's definitely in a strong buy. And I'll pull up the trend meter right here. Even though it's neutral, it looks like it's probably going to switch up soon into a buy. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think of gold right there. Even if we drew the trend lines from farther back, it's still a pretty strong buy. So yeah, there's gold for you. Probably give it some more time. Just like I said, since we're trading on the 4-hour candle, each candle could pretty much tell you what's going to happen next. So if this candle closes bullish, then we can definitely see it shooting upwards. Even if it closes bearish, the farthest I see it going is to test the trend line right here. So it's not too far. It's from its current position. Earlier when I mapped it, it was about 40 pips. So it's probably less, like 33.3 pips. So that's pretty much what I see for gold right now. Keep going down this. So next up, we got Myron wanted us to look at GC. So I don't think much has changed since the last time we looked at it. Pretty much what I said earlier. I think it's going to reject off the K2SR, which is right here. Yeah, K2SR is at about 1.75114. So that's probably as far as I see it pushing. But I do see it rejecting off and then coming back downwards. We do have two sell positions for GA and GC. They're both moving in the same direction. But like I said earlier, if we see a strong projection right here on GA, then I anticipate to shoot back downward. So if we do see this rejection, it's starting to reject right now. I see GC following the same way. So if you are in this sell position that I posted earlier in the premium, I think you guys should be fine. It's just having a bit of a small placement right now. And price usually moves a little quicker in Asia. So I think once we get closer to London, then it'll start moving a lot smoother. It's probably just going to consolidate and stay within this zone for the next couple hours. We have about 6 hours until London opens. So if you do have an active position, I would hold tight. And I wouldn't panic and I wouldn't sell off because I do see it coming back down. Let's see what else we got. Hassan wants us to check out NJ. So let me pull up NJ real quick. So all the JPY pairs pull down pretty heavy. Aaron, do we have an active trade for NJ?
I don't think so. You shouldn't. I'll check right now.
Yeah. Well, if we do have an active position, it looks like people probably closed out once it reached a 10 pip requirement over here. So it did push him about 17 pips. But even if that's the case, let me see. Yeah, NJ looks like it's moving sideways, so yeah, that's all this stuff here. Oh, we do have a sell, so it might push to, let me look at the SR again. What it might do is it might reject off the zone. And then if it rejects off the zone, then it'll probably shoot on upwards. Because we do have this lower wick right here, as you can see if we zoom in closer. It's a pretty strong wick down there. So if it does reject off this support and this body closes above the support area, then I'm anticipating a rejection out upwards. Otherwise, if it comes down here, it might test this support area and then shoot on upwards. But if we zoom out and look at it from a bird's eye view, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna take all the indicators off the chart. It pretty much looks like it's in a range. It's been in a range for a while in this whole area. So the next zone is going to be around. Yeah, I would have to wait for this candle to close, because depending on whether this candle closes below this support or above it, could mean two totally different things. If price closed below the support right here, then I can anticipate it coming down to test this next zone, this green line right here, plotted by the K2SR. If it closes above the zone, then I can see it rejecting pretty hard. Similar to what happened right here, or let me see if I can find a better example. Similar to what happened right here. So as you can see right here, price broke the zone, but it did pull back and close above the support. So if I see this candle right here closing like this one did right here, above the support line, I can see it shooting upwards, exactly like how it did right here. And it looks like it's pretty much the same exact pattern, actually. It's kind of weird. So if you look at this whole pattern right here, it's the same exact thing right here. If you look closely, look, it's exactly the same. It's crazy. And you see this on the chart?
Yes, see it.
Same exact pattern, huh?
Exactly, yeah. So you could possibly reject right now doing Asian and push up doing London session.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the cool thing about the K2SR, is because it plots the it plots these zones for you. So it gives you pretty much a blueprint as to, you know, how price is moving. Because if you take these zones off the chart, it wouldn't be as easy for you to spot that these two patterns are exactly the same. You can see it's a mirror image. So right here it came down, right here it came down, shot up, came down, consolidated a little bit, had a little rejection off this zone like it did right here, and then shot straight up. And that's what I see happening right here as well. See, if you didn't have the K2SR, you can't really see that. Like, you can't see that it's pretty much the same exact thing. But if you have the K2SR, you can see it lines up perfectly. It pretty much was the same pattern, but it moved up a little higher. So what I see right here is I see probably this closing above the support like it did right here, and then shooting on upwards. So if you're waiting for NJ, I personally wouldn't jump in just yet. I'd wait for this candle to close. And if you do have the K2SR indicator, you can see if it lines up exactly how this one did, and you can anticipate it to shoot on upwards. You can see right here, price is pushing on up. So I think it's going to close above that and shoot on up. I might go, I might take a heavy lot on this. That's a pretty big move. So if I copied this same move right here, and I wrote it from down here all the way up, well, that's 220 pips. So, I mean, that goes to show, you know, the power of having these indicators. And if you tie it with the K2 indicator, the momentum indicator, as you can see right here, price rejected, you got a buy signal, and it shot straight up. Similar right here, rejected off the support, buy signal, shot straight up. So that's probably what I'm anticipating right here. Right here, it rejected off this this low. It didn't create a zone, but it was still low. But then we got a buy, and I think that's why we took that position. So the reason why we took the position was because we had a buy signal right there. So what I was anticipating was that it established a low right here, and then I was anticipating it to shoot on upwards. However, it dropped down a little bit, and it's rejecting off here. So exactly what I said earlier, you can see right here, price pulled up above the support. Pretty much the same exact thing that happened right here. So what I'm anticipating is a big move up. So even if I just took the small move right here, that's still 100 pips, 118 pips. So, I mean, that's money right there, bro. So I give that, it's closing in about 20 minutes. I'd wait for it to close. If it closes above, I might take a heavy, you know, standard lot, couple standard lots, and then ride that up, make 1,000 or a little more off that little move. So NJ looks nice. Let me see what else we got here. I'm gonna go back to John, because John, I think his question came up before everything else right here. So John said, since S&P 500 and US 30 run in a similar fashion, do you apply the same technical analysis to both? So the way that I trade US 30 is I just trade US 30 once a day. I'm sure if you guys were in this, in this webinar previously, I showed you guys how I scalp US 30, and that works very well as well. But I don't like staring at the charts all day. So what I do now is I just trade US 30 once a day. Where's that? And although all the US 30 and S&P move in a similar direction most of the time, yesterday they were kind of moving a little different. So I mean, I wouldn't follow it exactly. It does move pretty similar, but it's not exactly the same, especially if you're trading on the higher time frames. But yeah, your technical analysis will work pretty much the same way. But the way I trade US 30 is I don't even use technical analysis on it. All I do is I trade off momentum. So what I do is I trade in the morning when the New York Stock Exchange opens. I trade on the 10-minute chart, and all I do is I wait for 6:30 to hit, and then once 6:30 hits, then I take the first K2 signal. 6:30 is when the New York Stock Exchange opens, and then that pretty much gives you a catalyst as to where price is going to be moving for the rest of the day, or for the rest of that market period during the New York Stock Exchange. So today I called this entry over here. So let's go to 6:30. So I just take one trade a day. I wait for time to hit 6:30, and then today we had news too. So Aaron, what time was news this morning? It was like at 7, right?
Yeah, I think it was around 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it was around 7. Here, I'm gonna get the parameters actually from the just so we can look at exactly at what I plotted earlier. Let's see. So this is the signal I called earlier. We have the chart right here. So pretty much it looks like I entered this trade at 7:40. So if you go to 7:40 right here, yeah, it's right here. So if we go back right here, pretty much I'll start the day at 6:30 when the market opens. So 6:30, New York Stock Exchange open right here. Pretty much what I do is I just wait for the first K2 signal to appear. Right here, we got a sell signal. And then immediately after this candle closed, price shot upwards. So I'm able to I told people to put a sell stop right there. So we entered a sell stop right over here. And then our TP and stop loss was about 1,500 pips. So pretty much right here, I put a sell stop. So I was waiting for price to come down and trigger our order. And as you can see, the price was pretty much up there for a long time. And then I'll speed it up. It triggered an order right here, went straight to TP. So that's how we locked in 1,500 pips on this. We did the same thing yesterday. I do the same exact strategy every day, just one trade, US 30, and then I bank off that. So this was on the 5th, that was today. Let's go to the 4th at 6:30 a.m. Oh, shit, 4th. So let's go back. So this is the 4th. Let's go to 6:30. So 6:30 is right here. This is when the New York Stock Exchange opened at 6:30. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take the next valid signal. A valid signal is if we get a sell signal and it's a bearish candle. Similar with a buy, if we get a buy signal and there's a bullish candle, then that's a valid signal. However, if we get a buy signal and it's a bearish candle, then that makes it invalid. It has to match. So right now we're just going to wait for the next signal. Looks like there's no signal there. All right, so right here we got a buy signal at about 9:20. So I entered a buy position right here. And then I put my stop loss at the previous swing, which was way down here. This is where the swing low was. So generally, I like to round it. So right here is about, I round it to either 2,000 or 2,500. I think for this one, I put 2,500 for this one. Yeah, so I rounded this to 2,500. It was either two, or you see, I posted it here somewhere. Let's see. Yesterday was the 4th. I posted it somewhere in here. I think I posted it over here actually. I just want to make sure the parameters are so I don't put in the wrong ones. So yesterday was the 4th. Watching today. So it looks like it was about, okay, 23, 23383. 23383. Yeah, so I had it at 2,000 actually. Okay, so we had our stop loss and profit target at 2,000. So same exact strategy I just went over with you guys. Pretty much I take the first signal after 6:30. So right here we had a buy signal on the 4th at about 9:20. So if we let that run, straight to profit target. So I just took 2 trades, got 2,000 pips yesterday, got 1,500 pips today. If you're trading with a broker that values US 30 pips, $1 a pip, I pretty much would have locked in 3,500 in 2 days. Easy as that. No stress, no nothing. Pretty much, you know, just wait for the first signal, take it straight to profit. And that's pretty much how I trade US 30. Depending on how you apply, I'm talking to John right now. So John, depending on how you apply technical analysis, yes, you can apply technical analysis the same to both. But personally, if you followed US 30, you know, during this whole coronavirus thing, you can see that price doesn't really respect the technicals very much. You know, the US 30 pretty much does whatever it wants. Like right here, you would have anticipated price to come down after it rejected off, you know, these zones right here. You know, it's like a triple top up here. You expect it to come down, but what happens? It broke right through. So that's pretty much why I don't really apply technicals to a US 30 right now. It doesn't really respect, you know, fundamentals at all or technicals. So I pretty much just go off momentum because, you know, price is going to do what it wants on US 30, and I pretty much just follow what it does. And as you can see, you know, I applied the same strategy, just one trade a day, yesterday and today, and locked in 3,500 pips. So it's as easy as that. So let me go to the next question. Mayan said, how do I move the screen up? I was trying to plot the short position. Yeah, Mayan. So the way that you can have free range on the chart, you just click auto right here on the bottom, and then you can move around however you want to move the chart. And then when you want to put the candles that are present on the chart, you just auto zoom in, hit auto, and then it'll go back to you know, where the candles are. So it's pretty simple. Let me see what else we got here. So we got, so I went over NJ already. Razik said to look at gold. So we just looked at gold. I'll pull it up again. So gold, on a higher time frame. I don't really like looking on the 10 hours. It's a little too choppy for me. So yeah, for gold right here, earlier we had a buy signal, but it was a bearish candle. So what I see right here is price might actually close above this K2SR level. So if it does close above it, I do see it shooting up. But if it does close below, I don't think it's going down too much. What might happen here is it might come down, test this trend line, and then shoot on upwards, hit full TP for us. I know we've been holding this for a while, for like a whole day, I think. So we took this yesterday at about 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So we've been holding this for like more than a day now. Generally, I don't like holding it for that long, but I mean, as you can see, gold isn't really moving. It's just been it's been consolidating this entire day. So if I take these off, so if I take off the trend line, take off pretty much all this extra stuff, I'm gonna have to take off the SR. So right here, it's pretty much been consolidation this entire time. So what I'm waiting for is price to break outside of this zone, which I do see happening soon. Like I said earlier, I drew the trend line right here. I can put it back on. So I drew the trend line right here. And as you can see, it's not too far from the trend line, so it might come down, test it within the zone, and then break outside. And then once price breaks outside, we can see it shooting to the moon. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting for right now. Just like I said with US 30, you know, gold hasn't really been respecting fundamentals or technical analysis as much as it used to. You know, I'm not sure if that's, well, I'm sure it has to do with coronavirus, you know, with how how commodities are moving, but yeah, it's still in an uptrend. So if you zoom out, it's clearly in a strong uptrend. So I don't see it reversing anytime soon. So I would just hang tight. But I do recommend, like I said earlier, once it moves in a profit, I would definitely move your stop loss in profit. Because as you can see right here, you know, price came up at least 600 pips. So if I was in this position, I would have moved my stop loss in profit, gone stopped out, because then it would leave me in a better position where I wouldn't be stuck in this drawdown right here. It gave me the ability to, you know, put a buy stop somewhere right here on the same entry and then enter as it pulls back up. But if you're able to, you know, eat this drawdown right here, which is about, let's see, 186 pips, I think you should be fine. So I'll just give it some more time. We have about 8 minutes left in this candle. So once this closes, it'll give us a better understanding as, you know, where price is going to be moving next. So let's see what else we got here. Brandon said GA is going up, which is perfect for us because we have a buy for that, I think. Oh no, fuck, we have a sell. Yeah, so we went over GA earlier. I drew these zones right here. I said price was probably going to reject off this zone. And then if it closes below it, it's probably going to shoot on downwards once it rejects. Let's pull up the, should we have it up already? So yeah, we have a sell signal right here. So this signifies that price is in a sell bias. So as you can see right here, we have a buy signal. Obviously it pushed up. That's what I anticipate right here. We have a sell signal. I'm gonna see the rejection off this, and I'm anticipating it to shoot on downwards. So I pretty much would see the same thing. As you can see right here, same situation. So we might have the same exact pattern right here. Just play out what we currently are. So right there, strong move down. Similar right here. I anticipate a strong move down as well. So I just give it some time. I mean, it's clearly in the strong downtrend. I don't think it's going to come up very far. It's probably going to reject off this zone and it's going to come on downwards. We have an active position. But hang tight. So let me keep looking down. What other questions we got?
Hey, Shawn.
Yeah, what's up, Baron?
Tracy asks, why do you use a 10-minute time frame for US 30?
That's the best time frame that it works on. I've tested it on all time frames. It works good on the 5-minute too. It's here. Let me see. I think I got the numbers here. So I back tested that strategy since March 1st, and within 42 days on the 5-minute chart, out of 42 trades, there was only 7 losses and 4 draws. Draws are when you move stop loss and profit. And then for the 10-minute, out of those same 42 trades, there was only 3 losses and 7 draws. So that's why I went with the 10-minute, because the ratio is better on the 10-minute. I mean, it still works on the 5-minute, but you know, obviously, I'm going to go with what works best. And from my back testing and my research, I found that 10 minutes work best for that specific strategy. I'm not saying the 10-minute works good for, you know, every strategy, but for that one trade a day that I take, and you know, I make pretty heavy profits off that. That works. That's why I stay on the 10-minute. But you're free to do the 5-minute. I know for my scalping strategy, I do the 5-minute, and that's because I'm looking for more entries. But with 10-minute, it gives you just a little more confirmation, less noise, and that's why I trade off the 10-minute for US 30. So let me see. David said AU looks like it's retesting a zone and can shoot up. So let's look at AU real quick.
You said AU?
AU. Let me turn on the SRs.
A nice sell signal.
So we got a sell signal. I might even call this entry right here. So Aaron, do we have a sell for AU? I have these like alerts here. I can't remember if we had something. Whatever, I'm gonna delete them.
I'll check right now.
Oh, it was when
I don't think we did.
That was like one of our losses this week.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember that now.
That was the one that reversed kind of hard. So let me go to our results. So our results. So this week we have a total of 9 wins and 2 losses, and it's only Tuesday. As you can see, we hit a bunch of profit targets this week. We hit a couple more just now, and Aaron just posted the results. So it looks like one of our losses was for AUD on Sunday. So we did have a loss on that. It's one of our losses. Our only other loss is Euro GBP, 45 pips, which is not that bad because for a Sunday, it's Sunday is usually a slow day. But we had six trades, 4 wins, 2 losses. We ended up with 120 pips. On Monday, we had 4 wins, 0 losses. We racked up about 332 pips. Today we had that US 30 win for 1,500 pips. Plus those, I think we hit like 3 TPs right now. So I think Aaron's close to those. So for today, we're up. We have no losses for today. We're up 1,500 from the US 30 trade. We have another win for 25 pips for KJPY, another win for JPY for 25 pips. So that's 50 pips. EJ, we have a win for 30 pips. So right now we're up 80 pips for the day, which is not that bad. So if you're trading a standard lot, then that's 800 bucks. So yeah, like David was saying, he said that AU's looks like it's retesting a zone. So he might be looking on the lower time frames. Let me see. Yeah, if you're looking on the 1 hour, maybe this was a zone that you were looking at. But personally, I only trade on the 4 hour right now because there's a lot of noise due to coronavirus. So what I see is I see it coming down. So if this closes with this sell signal here, I probably anticipate it to shoot down and test this this lower zone before it shoots up. So this is actually a valid entry right here for the K² SR zone strategy. Let me see how many pips is it. I like to make sure that there's enough cushion for you to lock in profits before it rejects off the zone. So it's about 22 pips. So what I anticipate is price might come down, test this zone. It might break through it, honestly. Or it might come back up. But what it looks like it's coming down. And it looks like it's come down pretty strong because, so let me draw this structure up here. We have about 2 minutes left in this candle. So before I go over any more questions, I'm going to go and start putting up some signals for our premium members. So we have a structure up there. We have a pretty strong structure right here. So you can see right here, it rejected off the structure about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 times, and we have a sell signal. So honestly, I could see this shooting down pretty far. So personally, I wouldn't take any buys because as you can see right here, we were in a strong uptrend up until this point, and then it dropped down. So right here, it created a higher high and then a lower low, lower high, and then I'm anticipating it to come down further. So I'm actually going to call this signal pretty soon. About a minute left in this 4 hour candle, so I'm probably going to call. So you guys will see exactly what I look for when I call signals. Right now, I'm only applying the K² SR zone trading strategy, which is what I found to work best under the current conditions. So I'm going to call this for the premium members so that we can make some more wins. Right there, I'm going to mark that up. The orange, let's see. Nothing right here. Going down kind of heavy. We still have that active trade. I'm just going to zoom through these real quick because I don't really have much time until this candle closes. I got 40 seconds. So nothing right there. Our CAD JPY is about to hit full TP. Our CHF JPY. This would be a valid entry if it goes below the support, but it didn't. I don't think it's going to close within the next 30 seconds. We're like running really short on time, so I'm going to look at it really quick. Our EGA is pretty deep profit. Yen, EU, GA. Like I said, if it rejects off here, I'm anticipating to drop down pretty heavy. See, same with GP. We have a strong top wick right there. So I do see it probably dropping after this. We have an entry for that. This is PC, GBP, no entry. We do have our active holder for that. This is a valid entry here for VJ, but it's too close to support. It's only 9 pips, so I'm going to ignore that. Nothing there. Nothing there. I'm kind of staying away from all these pairs because they're all consolidating. That's what it looks like. But I don't really see any good entries for those. The only entry that I saw was AU, and I'm going to call that for our premium members. All right, cool. So that's the only trade that I see. Aaron, we don't have any news coming up, right?
I'll check it right now.
All right, cool. So I'm just going to confirm that.
I mean, we have medium AUD news in 30 minutes, but that's about it.
I think that's fine. I don't think it's going to affect it too heavy.
We should be good.
Oh, let's see. We got a pretty nice cushion right here, about 25 pips. So let's make this call. So let me pull this up. So this is pretty much what I do when I call signals for you guys. Identify the entry using the K² strategy. Take a picture of the chart. So much. There's the chart there. Sell position. So I'm going to right there. You see price is above entry. You can see it's a green candle. So this is going to be a sell stop order. Negative parameter. So the entry. Change the entry right there. Full TP, down at target 2, stop loss right there. And then the other entry is going to be, or not the entry, but yeah, whatever, I'll just round it up. I don't really have time to think this out because I'm running on time. So 55 bits. All right, cool. And there you go. That's pretty much how I send out signals. It's easy as that. And I use the same exact strategy for every signal. So if you guys have access to the K2 indicators, I mean, you guys can take all of these trades on your own. As you can see, I identified that trade. I was able to pull up the parameters. I did everything within a few seconds. So if you guys learn the K2 strategy, I mean, you guys can make a ton of money just trading on your own. And I only call I call what I see. And if you guys can trade during London, you guys are going to have even better odds because price moves really faster in London, and during that time I'm sleeping, so I'm not even calling those trades. But yeah, pretty much that's about it. There goes the trade if you guys are in premium. So yeah, I'll check that out in a little bit. So let me go back to the questions. So everyone mentioned AU. Yeah, we just looked at AU. So what I'm anticipating price to, or actually, sorry guys, I'm gonna set up my alerts real quick. So if you guys enter this, it just passed entry, so it should have filled. I'm just gonna put that in, just so you guys know. A lot of people want to know when when positions fill. Sorry guys, let's see what questions they have here. Like I said, if you hold a trade, no stop loss. This is question. Aaron, can you answer Stanley's question? He tagged us, but I don't really have time to look at it.
I got you right now.
Cool. So Keith said re-entry. It's not really re-entry because the other one hit stop loss. So I don't know if Keith's in here. Let me check real quick. And it wouldn't be a re-entry. It'd actually just be it's a brand new position. So pretty much, or actually, yeah, let me set this real quick before I forget. I pretty much just set my alerts because I don't like to look at my trades. Once I enter a trade, I'm pretty much in it for the long haul. I'm gonna ride it until it hits TP1, TP2, or stop loss. I'm never like on my computer the entire time staring at these trades because if you do that, then that's gonna drive you crazy. So it's a 10 pip. Full move is gonna be down there. So pretty much when I enter the trade, I don't look at my charts at all. I just wait until I get an alert. So it'll tell me, if I hit profit target or if I hit stop loss. So pretty much there it is. I have all my alerts set up. So if price comes down, right here it hits pips. That's when I usually share it to the public, our public groups. So if you guys want to be in premium, you're gonna get prime entry because you'll have the actual entry point. But if you're in the public group where you're not paying for premium, then you're going to get it a little later. That's the benefit of being a premium member. Right here, I have another alert for TP1, and then I have my final alert down here for TP2. So yeah, pretty much what I anticipate happening is I anticipate price to come down, test the zone right here, maybe even break it, and if it does break it, straight to TP2 for full profit target. So that's what you guys can expect from AU. So let me keep going down the list, see what other questions you guys got. Let's see. All right, cool. So CT has an entry for GA. Oh yeah, so he has the same zone that I think we drew earlier. Let me see if I can line that up on my own chart. Just to see if we were looking at the same thing. I'll go to GA. Looks like his zone was, it was at the high of that previous candle. So, oh yeah, it's the same exact zone. So he saw the same exact that I saw right here. So I probably see it dropping from, oh, actually, so the next candle following that the previous candle, bearish candle. So I see it coming down from here. So if you guys are still in GA, you have to hang tight and then for it to come down further. So nice markup, CT. Looks good. Cool. So let's see what else we got here. Zeke said to check out NC. So let me go to NC real quick. NZDCHF. Looks like the price broke below this zone, but we still have buy signal right here. So I still anticipate it to shoot on upwards. I'm not sure if this would be considered, the low. Could be. So if this candle right here closes above the zone, then I can see it shooting on upwards. Otherwise, the farthest that I'll see it pull back is to this zone right here, but I don't even see it pulling back that far. As you can see, price rejected off this area pretty strong. So I see it coming on up actually within. That's why I'm trying to avoid the NZD pairs. I don't know why. I call this because I thought it would come up, but it's been going sideways for a while. So I would wait for this candle to close. If this candle closes bullish, then I see it shooting on upwards. Otherwise, if it comes down farther, it might come down, test this zone before it shoots on upwards. It's a little indecisive right now, it looks like. But I think it's still it's still fine. It looks like price broke into our entry, so you guys didn't take this call earlier. I guess we do have it active. She posted it. Let me go to where's that check? Oh, I was gonna check our signals. So if we call a NCDC, yeah, so I did call that today, so that's still active. But yeah, as you can see, prices it's pretty much bounced around this zone area, the zoned area right here. So if price does break below the zone, I see it coming down and test this support right here and then shooting on up. But if it closes above, then I see it shooting up straight from there. So I would hang tight with that. Since we're in Asia, it's going to move pretty slow. So I don't really anticipate too much from it. Meanwhile, see how it's the... So that last candle actually moved a lot. It moved about 30 pips. I think the average for each candle is about 30 pips. It's about between 20 and 30 pips. So this candle opened right here. Oh, that's responsible. So if we measure this from about 20, 30 pips. So that actually fits perfectly. So if it does come down here, it's probably going to bounce off this support and shoot on up. But we are in Asia session, so let's see. It usually moves a lot slower. So 18 yesterday. Yeah, about the same, 20, 30 pips. I still anticipate this to shoot on upwards. We would just have to see what happens after this candle. You know, whether it breaks below the zone or if it breaks above it. If it breaks above it, then I see it shooting on upwards. If it breaks below it, I see it coming down to the support before it rejects and then comes on upwards. So yeah, that's pretty much what I see for NC. Let me keep going down. Oh, Keem's here. We haven't seen a Keem in a while. So Keem said to check out EA. Let me pull up EA real quick. So EA, we, as you guys saw, there was a buy signal right there that just disappeared. And if that reappears, then I anticipate it to shoot on upwards. So that candle, we have a lot of time in this candle. It's about 3 hours. So if that candle closes bullish, I expect this to happen again right here. So as you can see right here, like I said, how the zones work, they work super well. So right here, price rejected off the zone. You got a sell signal, came down, rejected off this zone, got a buy signal, pushed up to the next zone, rejection, sell signal, all the way down here. And then we have a rejection right here, buy signal, shot up, rejection off this zone, sell signal, push down. It looks like price tried to come here and test this support. It doesn't necessarily have to, touch the exact price point. But, like I said, right here, if it rejects off this zone, and we have that buy signal right there, and I see it shooting to the moon. So probably on the close of this candle, if it closes with a buy signal like it did right here, then I'm going to be calling a buy signal. A buy entry on the open of the next candle. So that's about 3 hours. We have some time. But even if I did call that, let's see. It's a nice win right there for 100 pips, 100, 150 pips. So I'm definitely going to call that if it closes with the signal. But we just have to see what happens with this candle. What might happen here is it might pull back, test the zone again, or it might even test the actual support. And then that's even better because then we'll have a double bottom and then, ready for that shoot up once we have a buy signal. So I wouldn't take any trades for EA right now. I would wait to see what this candle does. If it's a strong bullish candle, then I'm anticipating it to shoot on upwards. But if it does come back down, I probably anticipate it to come down, test this zone right here, create a double bottom, and then shoot on upwards. So I would hang tight with EA right now. Let me see what else we got here. Tracy said, can you look at AU, what happened? Which one are you talking about, Tracy? Are you talking about the trade from Monday? Because the trade from Monday, we did have a sell. I think it was right here. This was the entry down here. So what happened is that it came down. So let's see. May 3rd. Yeah. So May 3rd was Sunday. That's when I called this trade. I called the trade when it touched this support. I didn't realize that this was a support here until we moved on further, and that's why it rejected. Because like I've been saying, once there's a rejection off a resistance or support, and then it's followed by a signal, it usually continues in that direction for an X amount of time. So right here it rejected off this resistance. We had a sell signal. It came down. Right here rejected off this support. We had a buy signal. It pushed up a pretty decent amount before it came back down. So let's see. Yeah, pushing about 32 pips. That's where we took our first loss for this week, I think. Honestly, I think I just called this trade too early. I should have gave it more time for price to stabilize from the weekend. Unfortunately, we were all excited to start the trading week, so I called this trade a little too early. I don't even think everyone's position got filled. I can't remember if mine did. It might have not. I don't really pay attention to my wins and losses because I know at the end of the week they're going to balance out. So this entry did appear at about 1,800 hours. No, about 1,400 hours. So the problem with this was that I didn't give enough time for price to stabilize from the weekend, and probably if I gave it a little more time, and then we let a couple candles pass on, then we would have seen that a support was established right here. So if I go back and replay this, yeah, see at that time there was no support here that was established, and that's why I wouldn't have been able to determine that price was going to reverse, because as you can see here, price rejected from this zone right here, shot up, and then created a high right here. So I thought it was going to keep coming down and push even farther to this zone. But what happened was the next candle pushed on upwards, and then the next candle pushed on upwards. See, and then right here, we didn't really have a hint that price was going to reverse. I mean, not reverse, but continue on upwards, because it tested this resistance twice. Like it tested it right here, tested it right here, and that's why we hung on to it. But as you can see right there, once we got the buy signal, the support was established, and it confirmed that it was a bullish move off the rejection. And I mean, it happens. Honestly, that was my mistake. I just entered that trade a little too early. If I gave it a little more time and didn't enter until a few candles later, then we wouldn't have been caught in that trade. So yeah, that was my mistake. But if you look at our results for Sunday, I mean, that one loss doesn't really matter because we had all these wins here. We still came up with 4 wins, only 2 losses, and a total of 120 pips just in one day. And on a Sunday. Sunday's a slow day, so we only traded half a day for that day, and we came up pretty nicely. So that's pretty much my explanation for AU. My mistake, sorry guys, but it's all good because if you took every trade that I shared with you guys, then we'd still be heavily in profit right now. I think right now we're pretty heavy. So let's see what else we got. Sorry, Jackson, I just saw your message where you said would you hop in. I'm not sure which pair you're talking about. Let's see if I could find something. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure it was one of the ones I was talking about earlier, but I went over a whole bunch. So I'm not too familiar which one you're talking about. Let me keep going down the list. Let's see. Mike wants me to look at, let's see. Mike wants me to look at EU. Is EU going to go for the sell? So let's pull up EU real quick. Yeah, it looks like it's going to keep pushing down actually. So let me see. I marked this up already. Looks like we had a double top right here. Pretty strong double top. And I think we did take a trade for EU. Did we? Yeah, so we had a EU trade on Sunday right here. We hit target for 55 pips. Let me see if I can pull it up. I just want to see where we mark it up from. Oh yeah, so right here we took a sell position. You know, right when price rejected off this double top, we got a sell signal. We entered right off that sell signal, straight to profit target, easy 55 pips right there on Sunday. So right here, price broke below this zoned area right here, and see how much it dropped down. It didn't even drop down that far. It dropped down about 18 pips. So I do see it dropping a little further. Where I see it dropping to is this next zone right here that's plotted by the K²SR. This zone is going to be at 1.08124, which is about 20 pips from current price. That's pretty much where I see it going. It's probably going to come down, test that, maybe retrace a little bit, if not break through. So if I zoom out on the chart, it's clearly, I mean, it's going sideways right now, but strong downtrend, retracement, sideways. So I think it's in a consolidation phase. It's a pretty wide consolidation zone right here. But if you're looking at it like on a shorter time frame perspective, it looks like it's in like not a very strong downtrend, but sort of. So right here, uptrend. Right here, price broke. As you can tell right here, it reversed from this double top. So it's currently in a downtrend right now. So like I said, I anticipate it to come down and test this support area right here. Pretty much like every single other trade that I was talking about, you can see that price respects the K²SR zones pretty much on point. So you can see right here, this double top was easily spotted because, like, let me take all this stuff off. So if you were just looking at the chart without any of the K2 indicators on the chart, you know, it'd be a little hard for you to spot this double top right here. I mean, you can probably see it, but you probably wouldn't see it just by, you know, taking a glance at the chart. But with the K²SR, that line's already plotted right there. So you see that that's a strong double top. And that's where I drew this zone right here. And that's why I anticipated to keep dropping further. So right here, it dropped, retraced a little bit, dropped, it's in consolidation right here. And then once price breaks below this zone, it's probably going to come down and test that support. And it's a pretty strong bearish candle. Personally, I wouldn't take any EURUSD positions right now until you have, you know, a better confirmation or you know, some type of catalyst for you to base the trade off. Luckily for us, we have a K²SR indicator, so that's pretty much what I would base the sell off, because we have a sell signal right here. It's basically signifying that momentum's coming downwards, which obviously it did. Trend meter is neutral right now, so that's pretty much where I see EURUSD moving. It's probably gonna move really slow. It doesn't move that too fast during London session, so it's probably gonna stay in this little consolidation phase until London, and then it might just break down far downward. So it might have another candle like this once London opens. So right here, this candle was at about, it was 2 hours from London open. So right now it's 6:23. So in about 4 hours, we might have another strong bearish candle, and then have that bearish candle right here shoot down to this level. It's the same pattern. So right here, it shot down, went sideways, shot down, went sideways, shot down, went sideways, probably shoot down again. So I would look at this from a sell bias, and the next structure is going to be right here at 1.08124. Okay, let me see what else we got. So Mayon's asking, what's the difference between a sell stop and a sell limit? So if you look at current price right now on EU, and say your entry is going to be down here, since price is above the current entry, it would be a sell stop order, because price need to come down here to follow. Opposite for sell limit orders, if your entry is above it and you're trying to enter a sell, since price is below the entry, this would be a sell limit. So that's the main difference. The main difference is where price currently is with regard to the entry point. So if entry is above current price and you're trying to enter a sell, it's going to be a sell limit. If price is above the entry point and you're trying to enter a sell, then it's going to be a sell stop. And that's pretty much the the simple understanding as to how like which type of order to set. Similar with the opposite, say you're trying to enter a buy, and then your entry is going to be above current price. If price was right here and you wanted to enter up here, this would be a buy stop. However, if you wanted to enter down here and price was above, then it would be a buy limit, if that makes sense. So let's see. I keep going down the list. Mine said, how do you get the 10-minute time chart? So what you can do is just click on the chart and then type in a 1, 0, and then you'll get that change interval right there. And there's the 10-minute chart. Another way to do it is you can click up here at the time frame. You don't have it right here. Usually it's not there. So what you do is you go down here and then you type in the minute. So right here, if you want 10 minutes, and then you click add, and then it'll put it up there for you. Pretty simple. Yeah, sure, no problem, Ryan. So let me go down the list again. Let's see what else we got here. Jackson wants us to look at UC, so let me go to USD CHF. Switch back to the 4-hour. All right, so right now we have a sell position for UC. The reason I called this trade was using the K² SR zone trading strategy. Like I said, price respects these zones pretty often. So right here, price rejected off the zone, came up, rejected off here, came down, rejected off here. It's pretty much, it just bounces off zones. And that's where we trade. We like to trade in between the zones, and then we like to pretty much ride it until it reaches the other zone. So right here, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell from up here, rejected off this zone, buy, rejected off this zone, sell, rejection, rejection, and then similar to right here. So right here, we have a buy momentum. Since we have a buy signal, this is signifying that momentum is swinging on upwards, and that's exactly what happened right here. We had a buy signal, it shot up this way. And then once price closed above this K2SR level, we entered on the open on the following candle. So that's why we have our entry right over here. I'm pretty sure we're in it already because it looks like price came down, then it came up. So if you guys are taking this trade, it should be active, and it looks perfectly fine. So right now, price came down. You can see, so as you can see right here, you see the wicks that have tried to cross this support. It's tested at 1, 2, and then a third time. So it's having a hard time crossing this support right here. So as you can see, it's a pretty well-established zone. So what I'm anticipating is going to shoot up from right there, and then trigger our 10 pip requirement, T1, and then TP2. But the thing with a USD CHF is that it's a very slow moving pair, so you're probably not going to expect very much movement until London. So you can see right here, this is where it barely moves. Like if you look at each candle, it barely moves like 10 to 15 pips, and it just has random bursts of movement. So right here, it kind of moved slowly. It broke out a little bit. We're probably going to see it, move up a little slowly again before it breaks out upwards a second time. But that's pretty much what I see. So let me zoom out. Looks like price came up, came down, rejected, came up, came down, went sideways, came down, and then right here, it looks like it's in a clear uptrend. So let me grab these parallel channels. So that's pretty much what I see right there. I see it continuing on upwards. And it's because we have, we have a buy signal, so we have that confirmation. We have a confirmation that it broke above this zone right here, and then price came down, tested the zone 3 times. So it's a pretty established zone. So I would just hang tight if you have that active. But once it reaches the 10 pip mark, I definitely would move your stop loss and profit. That way, if it pulls back, then you get stopped out of profit, or if it shoots on upwards, then more profit for you. So UC looks fine. I would just hang tight and then give it a couple more hours. London opens in about 6 hours, so you're probably not going to see too much movement until then. See this last candle. Yeah, it only moved like about 10 pips. So yeah, don't expect much action until London opens in the next 5 to 6 hours. Keep going down the list. Cool. Mindset, okay, figured out how to add. Mine's asking, would you scalp other pairs, commodities, indices on the 10-minute or 5-minute? I usually like to scalp on the 5-minute. If you guys are familiar with my scalping strategy, works pretty well. So let me go to US 30 real quick. I'll just see if I can find any entries for scalping. I really like to scalp, but the thing is, I just got tired of staring at the chart all day. So that's why I stopped scalping. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You keep scalping. But it looks like, I mean, there might be an entry here. Yeah, if you guys are familiar with my scalping strategy, basically what I do is, again, I use the K2 indicators because the momentum indicator is always going to be my catalyst when I try to determine which trades to take. So you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with my scalping strategy because you guys saw my profits when I was scalping before. You could lock in pretty good profits. I think I was locking in like a couple thousand a day. But I just got tired of scalping. It just takes a toll on you. So K2 scalping strategy. If you guys have access to the K2 strategy, I have videos dedicated to this, explaining how this works, so you guys can learn to do exactly what I'm doing. So right here, K2 scalping strategy. So for one, identify swing high, low, depending on which direction you're going to be trading. Next, identify K2 signal for direction. And yeah, honestly, I've been scalping a long time. I can't remember my requirements. Hey, Aaron, do you remember what the other requirements were? I feel like there was at least one or two more.
I think you did change the trend meter on the smaller time frames. Was that for US 30?
Yeah, no, for scalping, I don't use the trend meter. So let me, I'll just go with these, and if I think of it along the way, then we can think about it. So, well, first you want to identify the swing high. So right here, we have a sell signal. So you want to identify the swing high. So right here, price swung up, swung down, swung up, swung down, swung up. So this would be the high right here. And you would know that because you have the K2SR. So it's already lined up for you, but I'm just going to draw a little zone so you guys see. So right there, we have a swing. Oh, yeah, I remember. So next, what was it? Strong, bullish, bearish, move. What was it prior? Yeah. So first you want to identify the swing high, swing low, and then next you want to identify the K2 signal in the direction of price, and then next you just want to confirm that there was a strong bearish or bullish move following the swing all the way till the signal candle. So right here we identified the swing high since we're entering a sell. Swing high was right here. Next we identified the K2 signal for direction. Right here we have a sell signal. And next, you just want to confirm that there's a strong bearish move prior since we're entering a sell. So this strong bearish move would have to be between the swing and the signal. So right here, you can tell it's a strong bearish move because we have a price rejected right off this zone. We had a strong bearish candle, and then it's a bunch of candles that just led to the signal candle. So right here, I would consider this a strong bearish move. Again, this is going to be very subjective. So what I see is probably different from what you see. But it does look bearish to me because there was not much of a a bullish pullback or any type of rejection from, this little move down. So after that, we would enter on the open of the following candle, following the signal candle. So right here, we would enter, and then we would place our stop loss at the previous swing. So this is a previous swing right here, but I would put a little bit higher. So it's about 800 pips. Stop loss, profit target, same direction. We always trade on a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and as you can see, straight to profit. So it's a good entry right there. Let's see, Shawn's asking any indices. So I don't really trade indices during the day. I only trade that one trade daily, and I mean that nets me pretty nice profit, and I don't trade anything after that. The problem with scalping is that you're going to end up over trading, because obviously you're going to want to take every single signal that comes up, and that's kind of why I stopped, because I got a little too attached to my computer, and I was just staring at the charts all day, trying to catch every single scalp. But right now, I don't see anything. I'm not looking at any indices entries right now, so I can't give you guys any signals off these. The only time I'll give you a signal is in the morning when I'm taking my one trade a day. So this might be a decent buy entry. It's kind of iffy, because so if we're following the requirements, we want to identify the swing low. So we identify the swing low right here. Next, we identify the K2 signal right here. We have a buy signal. And then next, we want to confirm that there was a strong bullish move, because we're taking a buy between the swing and the signal candle. And right here, price rejected off this swing low. But then, as you can see, the candles following it, it wasn't necessarily a very strong bullish move, because we had a couple bearish candles along the way. So right here, we have a bearish candle. It depends on where you would identify the swing low at. It might have been from this candle. It might have been from this candle. But personally, it looks like this is the low, so this would be the swing. And there's not really a smooth movement right here. So I wouldn't consider this a strong bullish movement, but some people might. Like I said, it's subjective, depending on how you perceive the charts and the candles. So if you did take this trade, stop loss would be somewhere around here, around 540 pips. So you currently would be in profit about 300 pips. So at this point, at this situation, like once price got to this area, I would move my stop loss in profit and either run to full profit or get stopped out in profit. But yeah, another example here. We identified, swing low right here. Buy signal, strong bullish move. Enter on the open of the falling candle. Previous swing was right here, about 740 pips. 740. 740. And one thing that you always have to keep in mind is to adjust your risk whenever price moves in a profit. Usually what I do is as price moves in a profit, I'll trail it manually, and as we move on to the next candle. So once we enter this candle and this candle closed, I would have moved my stop loss to break even. And once this candle closed, I would have moved my stop loss to the low of this candle. So it'd been right there. And then after this candle closed, I'd move my stop loss somewhere above here, above this zone. So if price was to pull back like it did right here, looks like I would have locked in about 100 pips, which is not too bad. And it's not great, but it's not bad. But as you can see, it's a very simple strategy. If you guys have the indicator, it pretty much does everything for you. You just have to identify the swings, but the K2SR already identifies it for you as well. So like right here, I identified the swing, but right here we have a K2SR level. Similar with this area right here, I identified the swing, but so I identified the swing right here, but we had the K2SR level there already. So it pretty much does it for you. You don't have to go and look for it and mark it up. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics to the K2 scalping strategy. Let me see. Question I was on. But yeah, my main. So this is pretty much how I scalp indices. I like to go on the 5-minute, and I'll show you why. So if you go to the, I mean, it does work on the 10-minute, but on the 10-minute, you get the signals a little later. So you can see right here, well, this would actually be a good one. So this would be a good one. This would be a good one. Actually, I've never even used it on 10 minutes. So I don't know if it works. Honestly, it looks like it works pretty well. So swing right here, you're taking a buy, swing right here, taking a sell, swing right here, taking a buy, low, high, taking a sell. Actually, it works pretty good on both. Personally, I've never really applied it on the 10-minute, but it looks like it's worth a try. Let's see, swing low, buy signal. I'll write that up. But it kind of looks like you kind of do get the signals a little later. And if you're scalping, you want to stay on the shorter time frames because these moves are going to be a little bit bigger. The 10-minute is probably going to have twice as much movement as the 5-minute. And if you're scalping, you kind of don't want to put on that much risk if you are going to just be scalping it. So right here, see if you enter this trade right here, swing low would have been down here on 800 pips. I mean, you probably could have stopped. You probably would have gone stop down profit, but it's the movement is like twice as much as a 5-minute. So on the 5-minute, it gives you opportunities to get out of trades pretty quickly. But like if you took this trade right here, this would have been a clear loss because let's move this over here. So right here, we identified the swing high. Actually, I probably wouldn't have taken this candle because there's no strong bearish movement. We have the swing high, we have a sell signal, but in between that move, there were 3 bearish candles, but then it was followed with a strong bullish candle. So I wouldn't consider this a strong bearish move. I mean, you can play around with it and see if it works for you. Personally, I like the 5-minute because there's more entries, but the problem with the 5-minute as well is that there is a lot of noise. But as you can see, there's more opportunity to enter trades here. So from the 10-minute, it looks like there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna go from the entire day. 8. So there were 8 entries since midnight. If you're scalping, you're not gonna take more than 8 entries. And as you can see here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that's not 12. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. About 16 entries. So you had double entries if you trade on the 5-minute, and that's the main reason why I go on the 5-minute. Because if you're scalping, you're gonna want more entries. You're not gonna wait all day to just take eight scalp entries. You'd be better off just go on the 5-minute, have 16 entries right here, and that's pretty much the main reason why I prefer the 5 over the 10 for scalping. Especially if you're trading indices, they move a lot faster than FX pairs. You can make entries pretty much throughout the entire day. Let me keep going down the list. Christopher Flores said, "Are you able to pinpoint what caused that sell signal for AU?" Yeah, so that sell signal that I called for AU was based on the K2 zone trading strategy. So the way that strategy works is K2 SR zone trading strategy. So pretty much for this strategy, if you guys have access to the K2 strategy, there's detailed videos explaining how to apply it. But I'll just give you a quick walkthrough as to how I identified this sell signal right here. So first, you want to confirm direction of price from K2 signal. Next, you want to wait for confirm nearest zone or recent break in the zone. And then you enter. I mean, that's all you really need. So there's only a few requirements for the strategy. Basically, what we're doing is we're trading from zones to zones that have been plotted by the K²SR indicator. So I haven't really showed you guys how the K²SR indicator automatically adjusts. So if I go back here, you can see that there is see all the zones around this area, but as price moves, new zones will be automatically created. So as you can see right here, there's new zones that are created as price moves. So right here, the zones are up here. There's no zones down here. New zones just keep getting created over time. And this makes things a lot easier for you to identify where price is likely to reject them. So you can see right here, price rejects these, it respects these zones pretty much on point. So right here, price came up to this zone. So if I zoom up, go backwards, if you have the K²SR indicator, you can see price came up, rejected off that zone right there. Odds are price is going to come down, test this zone, and shoot up. And that's pretty much exactly what happened right there. See price rejected off this zone, came down, shot back up. Exactly. Right there, there's a zone right here. Price came up, rejected off this zone. It's probably going to come down or shoot up. Perfect. Rejected off the zone, came down, tested this zone right here. Rejected off this zone right here. It's on its way up. It's probably going to test this zone again for rejecting. Rejected off this zone right here. Rejected off the same zone that it rejected off right here. And then it just keeps continuing. So as you can see, price respects these zones more often than not. So right here, you want to confirm the direction of price based on the K2 signal. So right here, we have a sell signal. So we are, wait, Aaron, did we call this?
AUD USD?
Oh, no, okay. There we go. It was missing that last candle. I was like, why did we enter this? But yeah, pretty much. So what we do first is we confirm the direction of price from the K2 signal. If we have a sell signal, then this is signifying that price and momentum is moving that direction. And pretty much when it's moving that direction, it's pretty much going to keep pushing in that direction until it reaches the next zone where it's going to reject from. So right here, we confirm the direction because we had a sell signal. And we wanted to confirm where their nearest zone is, or the recent break-in zone. So right here, there was no recent break, but we saw that the next zone was down here. So like I said, price generally rejects off these zones. Like it rejected from here, came down to this next zone right here, rejected off this zone, came up here, rejected off this zone, and then what do you think is going to happen next? It's going to come test this down zone right here because we have a sell signal. So that's how I identified this sell signal right here, or the sell trade that I posted, because we had a sell signal that's pretty much telling you that price is going to come down to the next zone, and the next zone is right over here, and that's why we have this this profit target and stop loss. This is for the full move because we have another zone down here. So what I'm anticipating is price is going to break this zone and test this zone down here, because this doesn't look like a very strong zone. And the reason for that is because price broke the zone right here, broke the zone again, broke the zone again, and then what do you think is going to happen here? It's probably going to break it and test this lower zone. So we have TP. This is full TP down here, and then our TP1 is about 20 something pips. So that's where first TP is. So right here, people have the opportunity to get out right here. And once it reaches, TP1 with the stop loss to break even, risk free from there. And at that point, pretty much ride it to full TP down here, or just exit and collect the profits. And that's pretty much how I identify that trade. I mean, it's super simple. If you have access to K2 indicators, it makes life a whole lot simple. Let me keep going down. Hey, Sebastian, just saw your message. Let's see what else we got here. John said you and Aaron coughing. Y'all been wearing masks. Yeah, man. I don't know about Aaron. I am. Let's see what else we got here. So, Jackson said, and you on 4 hours. So I'm over there checking 4 hour. And you? Oh shit! What a thing off the chart. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we are at NU. I don't really see anything here. We had a buy signal right here, but it already tested the zone. So the problem with this is that it's already tested it and rejected. So it's probably gonna, be indecisive until it breaks. So you have a buy signal right here. So we're taking only buy entries. The only time I would enter a buy is once it breaks this zone right here. Because like going back to my requirements earlier, SR zone strategy. So one, identify direction. Number two, identify nearest zone. So pretty much this is going to be the nearest zone right here. So once price breaks this zone, like if it closes above this resistance right here, then I would take a buy. But I would want to make sure that price isn't too close to the next zone, so I'm able to lock in at least some pips. So right here it's about 19 pips if it was to close just above the resistance. So since it's more than 15 pips, it gives you enough cushion to enter and move your stop loss and profit once it reaches at least 10 pips or whatnot. And a setup for this would be something like we have right here. Or let me see. So something like right here. So this is the same setup pretty much. Right here we had a buy signal, and then price came down, and then right here we had a buy signal, and then price came down. So we would have waited for price to break above support. As you can see right here, price came down, and then it broke above support right over here, and that's when you would enter a buy position right there, and then you would have locked in 3 pips easy in the next 2 candles. Similar right here, price breaks above this resistance right here, then I'll enter another buy, and then lock in another 50 pips right there. So pretty much, there's nothing here really look at until you have some type of catalyst for you to take the trade. I only take trades when I see some type of catalyst telling me that price is going to push in that direction. But currently, I don't see anything, so I wouldn't really I wouldn't take any positions right now for NU. Let's see. Okay. Jackson said US 34 hour. So the thing with US 30 is, if you're not familiar with trading US 30, if you're trading it on the 4 hour, it moves like crazy. So each candle moves like 3,000 pips. Not a lot of people have enough capital to catch these, to be able to survive these drawdowns. So personally, unless you have a huge account that's over 10,000, I wouldn't trade US 30 on the 4 hour because you're just going to get stopped out or margin called out because you're not going to be able to handle that drawdown. But yeah, pretty much the same strategy works for US 30. If you have enough money in your account, you can apply it the same way you apply the other strategies. The same way that you apply strategy to other pairs. So as you can see, like right here, you had a buy signal. It broke this support right here. You could have taken a buy on the open of the falling candle right here. And then you could have locked in, nearly 4,000 pips on this little move. It's not a little move. It looks like a little move, but it's actually a huge move because it's 4,000 pips. But as you see, price pulled down right here. So you'd have to eat a drawdown of about 1,200 pips. It's actually not that bad, but the drawdown's not going to be that nice every single time. And one thing as well, I'm going to be trading US 30. You have to manage your risk properly. Like whenever you get in profit, you're going to have to stop loss right away because price can come in and reject at any moment. So you can see right here, we had a sell signal, and then the nearest zone was down here. So we would have anticipated price to come down here. But the thing is, price reversed super hard. So once price moved in profit on this candle right here, it moved in profit about 600 or 700 pips, you would have had to move stop loss immediately in profit to avoid, this reversal to stop you out. Because let's see, so if we enter this, yeah, see it just doesn't make sense to trade on the 4-hour unless you have a huge account, because you'd have to put your stop loss at the previous swing, which is up here, and that's a 6,000 pip drawdown. And it looks like if it came up like that, you would just take a huge loss. So like once it moved down in profit, you have to move your stop loss in profit to prevent, you getting caught in a move like this. But if you look at it, so say if you took this trade right here, you'd win about 3,000 pips. Right here, you'd probably close out at break even. You remove your stop loss. Right here, you would have won this one. Same situation right here. Let me see how many pips this probably would have been a loss right here, actually. Yeah, because it only dropped about 200 pips. I don't think you'd even be able to cover spread with that. Let's see. So this would be a loss for about 4,000 pips. But the thing is, you already caught 3,000 pips right here. Break even, and then 5,000 pip move right here. So this wouldn't really hurt because you would have made up enough pips to cover that loss. And then right here, you would have taken this trade, a buy, locked in another about 4,000 pips. So the strategy does work on US 30. The only problem is, you have to have a really, really large account in order to, pretty much catch the entire move or to survive any drawdown before it actually makes the full move. So I'd avoid looking at it on the 4-hour unless you're really going to trade on it. But odds are you're probably not going to. Even myself, I have a large account, but I'm not going to trade US 30 on the huge time frames because this is just way too much risk. I mean, there's a lot of reward, but there's also a lot of risk. Let's see. Let me keep going down.
Hey, Shawn.
What's up, Aaron?
Hey, Tracy said, can you go over your daily US strategy?
Yeah, sure. I'll go over it.
Sure.
Here, I'll just go over right now because I'm already on here, and it's super simple. So, it's really simple. The only indicator I use is a K2 momentum indicator, and what I do is I just trade every morning when the New York Stock Exchange opens. So, let's see, I'm gonna replay. I know I went over this earlier, guys, but I'm just gonna go over it again. So right here. Let's see. So this is 6:30 right here. When the New York Stock Exchange opened, what I do is basically once the stock exchange opens, I wait for the next signal because the K2 signal gives you the direction of momentum. And the thing is, if you know where momentum is going, you might as well ride that momentum because odds are price is going to keep moving in that direction because generally once the New York Stock Exchange opens, you could pretty much, if you're able to identify, which direction people are moving price, odds are prices just gonna keep moving in that direction for the rest of the day. So right here, the stock market open. Next, we're gonna be waiting for the next signal. So right here, we have a buy signal. So the next signal is obviously gonna be a sell signal. So we're waiting for a sell signal to appear, and it has to be a valid sell signal. Right here, this would be an invalid buy signal because although we have a buy signal, it's a bearish candle. So this wouldn't be considered a valid candle. This would be a valid candle because it's a sell signal, and it's also a bearish candle. This would be a valid signal because it's a bullish candle, and it's a bullish signal and a bullish candle. So basically, what we're doing right now is we're waiting for a sell signal. So right here, we have a sell signal. This is a valid sell, and what we're going to do is we're going to enter on the open of the falling candle with a sell position, and we're going to put our stop loss at the previous swing, which is right here. This is kind of tight though; it's only 1,000. Usually, the movement that I aim for is usually 1,500, 200, or 2,500. Because generally, that's how much price moves during the entire day. 200 pips.
And she had one more question. How do you go to the 10-minute time frame?
So one way to do it is you can click on the chart and then just type in a 10, and then it'll have change interval, hit enter, and I'll go to a random time frame. I'll go to 1 minute. if you want to go on the 10-minute, you just click on the chart, type in a 10, you'll have a 10-minute time frame, and there you go. Also, right here under time frame options, your 10 minutes probably not there because it's not there by default. What you have to do is just go down here, type in a 10, hit add, and then it'll get placed right there. And that's pretty much how you enter. Okay, so right here, we're gonna move our stop loss to the previous swing. It's only about 1,000 pips, so we're gonna bump that up to 1,500 because that's the minimum that I want to risk, and you need some cushion for it to move. So that's pretty much all you do. You take the first signal after 6:30. You enter on the open of the falling candle, and you place your stop loss at the previous swing. If it's too tight, then you're gonna push it up to 1,500. And then if it's pretty close to either of these numbers, you're just gonna round it to the closest number. So let's let it run. And I know a lot of people are freaking out when I posted the signal because it pulled back so far. The thing is, we didn't enter yet because I called this a little late. So we wouldn't have been in the trade because it was a sell stop order. But as you can see right here, it always plays out. Right here, it came down. It filled our order right here. Once price broke through this entry point, and then it went straight to profit. So I made about 1,500 pips on this trade. And then I showed everyone else earlier too. I do this trade this day. So this was on the 5th. I'll go on the 4th over here. Same exact thing. Let me go ahead and go back to 6:30. All right, so 6:30 was right here, opening bell. It's usually a big move because once the stock market opens, people put in their orders real quick, especially day traders. So right here, 6:30 hit. So now we're going to be looking for the next K2 signal to make an entry. Right here we have a sell signal, so obviously the next signal is going to be a buy signal. You want to make sure that it is a valid buy signal where it has a bullish candle and a buy signal, not a bearish candle and buy signal. This would be invalid, but this would be valid. So let's move forward. Get that buy signal right here. You got that buy signal. So you're going to enter on the open of the falling candle. So generally what I do is I wait for this candle to close, and I just enter a market order as soon as it closes. So right there, we enter a buy right here. We put our stop loss at the previous swing, which would be down here. This wouldn't be the swing because, obviously it didn't swing down. It just moved sideways. This would be the real swing, and you can tell because I have the pivots high-low here. So it pretty much plots the low for me. So right here is the low, and it pulls down to about 2,030. Like I said, I round it to nearest number. Put that to 2,000. Profit at 2,000. Same exact setup. Run. What do you know? Profit. 2 back-to-back wins, one for 2,000, and the one from today for 1,500. So within those 2 trades, there you go. Within those 2 trades, locked in 3,500 pips. Just 2 trades, one a day, and there you go. And I pretty much just do this every single day. So if you have the K2 indicators, it's very simple. You just wait for the first candle to give you an indication and a catalyst as to where price is going to be moving. Take the trade, collect the profits. All right, so let me go back to the list. Hope that helped. Tracy, did that help you? If you have any other questions, you can let me know right now before we move on. Erin, is she putting is she typing in the chat, or are you talking to her at the end?
Oh, no, she's good.
All right, cool. All right, so let me keep going down. Mine said you're scalping US30, looking for the. Yeah, so when I'm scalping US30, I usually disregard the trend meter because you're just looking for a quick scalp move. Sometimes I use it. So, obviously, if it's a strong downtrend, I'm not going to take any buys. So technically, I do use it to make sure that I'm not trading in the wrong direction. But for the most part, especially right now during these conditions, there's not going to be much trending in the market. It's going to be pretty neutral. So, right, and this is the 10-minute too. So when I do scalp, I'm on the 5-minute, and as you can see, there's like no trend. So, I mean, this is just an example where I wouldn't take any buys because obviously market's trending down. But as you can see here, price is trending. I mean, it's neutral, so you can trade both directions. But yeah, sometimes I do look at the support and resistance, the SRs. It's not super necessary because obviously if you're on the shorter time frame, you're going to have more rejection points. So there's going to be a lot of support and resistance that are close by. And you can see on the lower time frames, it does respect it sometimes, but it does break through it a lot of times. So they're not as strong as if you're looking at them on, you know, say the 4 hour. See, Shawn said to look at S&P. So let's see. But Shawn's not even here anymore. So I'm probably gonna skip that because, like I said, I don't really trade indices during the day or anytime outside of the New York Stock Exchange open. So I mean, there's nothing really for me to analyze because I don't trade it personally. Well, I don't even trade S&P. I just trade US 30 because I prefer the higher volatility. But if you were to be looking at it, say on the 30-minute, it's in a downtrend. I'm just gonna mark it up real quick. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend.
That was nice.
Yeah, see, so it looks like it's coming down. If you guys are looking at S&P, I would only look for sell entries. It looks like if price breaks below this this support, it's probably gonna support. I mean, there's a support. There's like way too many support areas right here. So the problem with it is this support's way too close. I don't trade S&P, so I'm not sure how much. Like if 63 pips is a lot. I mean, if you could take this trade, pretty much write it down to next zone. But like I said, I'm not familiar with S&P, so I don't know what's a good hit. What's a good hit gain to aim for compared to if you're trading US 30. Yeah, I don't trade S&P or Nasdaq. I only trade US 30. So I can't really say how many pips you should be aiming for. But just looking at this, I'm 200 pips is like a sweet spot. I don't know if that's a lot. It might be a lot. But yeah, I mean, pretty much it's in a down, obviously. So we did get a sell signal right there. I'm anticipating it to keep pushing down. The only problem is that there's a support right here. It's probably going to come down and reject off the support like it did right here. But if it does break through, come down and test this support over here. So personally, I would only take sells. And I generally don't even take these big moves. If I'm trading indices, I'm only scalping it because they move so volatile that you're better off just scalping it than taking any long trades because you can make a whole lot more money just scalping it, taking multiple positions. So this might be an okay call. There's the swing lows right here, swing highs right there. If you go back and look at the scalping strategy that I use, right here we identified the swing high, and then we got a sell signal, followed by a bearish move. So you can probably write this down to the next zone. I don't know how much space is there. It's only about 33 pips, so I'm not sure if that's if that's like even worth taking. Because you still need to cover spread. My spread's only 4 pips, but I mean, if you're trading on Google's way, spread's probably a lot wider. So, I mean, that's S&P for you. If you have a specific thing you want me to look out for, like, obviously I'm not going to look out for any trades because I don't trade it. But if you want me to look at it and identify, where I anticipate it to move, then I can do that. But I'm not going to call any trades out because I don't trade it, so I don't know exactly how it moves. But like I said earlier, it's clearly in a downtrend right now, so I'm anticipating it to keep pushing down and test these zones. So it's probably going to test that zone, push down further, test that zone, maybe even push down, push that zone. Because a top was already established right here. So I think it's going to come down. So a top was established at P2SR. So top was established. Bottom was established. Top was established again here. So we can probably see this pushing down pretty far. Yeah, it's got a long way to go. If it's established as the lower high, so we have a higher high here, lower low, a lower high, and then it's going to come down to create a lower low. But yeah, I'm not on indices, so I'm probably not the best person to ask to analyze these. But just looking at it, with the K2 indicators, that's pretty much what I see happening for S&P. And it makes sense. It looks like exactly what's going to happen. If we turn on the momentum indicators, yeah, if we just turn on the sells, you know, it's pretty spot on. Except for right here when it reversed, obviously because it established a low. But if you look at it from where it established a high and came down, right here, every sell signal, straight money. Could have taken this right here and rolled that thing all the way down for about shit a lot. And that's pretty much what I see happening here. Right here, obviously the trend went upwards. So if I add the buys, you can see right here, price came up. All the buy signals were perfect. And then it established a high right here. Got a sell signal. I'm anticipating it to come on down. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Let me see what else we got here. I'm gonna like skip. I'm gonna skim through like a couple of questions because I think I skipped a couple. So I'm just gonna go over all of the indices one while I'm on this page. So John said, "Does your indicator provide an warning signal or a zone in relation to bad news?" I mean, not necessarily because news. I mean, you can't predict news. You know, like news it'll move whichever direction it wants to. Like even if the analysts say that it's going to be weak news or strong news, you know, it just depends on how people react to the release of the news. There's not going to be an indicator telling you, you know, giving you like a bias as to like where it's going to move. But I'm trying to figure out if there's that happen. So like I was talking about earlier, Warren Buffett sold all of his airline stock. So let's go to the start of the week, which was, I mean, it doesn't really help because it's the opposite. So when Warren Buffett sold his airline stocks, it was supposed to go down, obviously because, you know, people were panic selling. But the start of the week, which was on the 4th right here, it went in the opposite. Let me go look at US 30. I'm not sure if they moved in the same direction. I think they did, but actually, no, I remember they both moved up. But let's see. So I guess it kind of does give you the direction. So like right here, the stock market didn't open until 6:30 on this candle. But if you were looking at pre-market, you know, price was moving, it gave a buy signal here at 5 o'clock. So this is when pre-market hours open. So I guess it does give you, you know, a little heads up that price is moving in that direction. But again, like I said, it's it's kind of iffy because, you know, you can't really predict where price is going to move in the news because during news that price is highly manipulated. So depending on where the institutions want to push price, that's where it's going to get moved. Let me look at US 30. Have the same thing there. So US 30 on the 4th, same thing right here. So market open right here at 6:30. It gave you a little heads up at 5 o'clock. Gave you a buy signal telling you that momentum was swinging upwards. So I mean, I guess it could. I don't know if there's any. Let's see, so your example was for Gillette. I'm not sure when the Gillette news was released, but if you do have the actual time when it was released or prior to that, then you can match it up to see if there was a signal before that release was made. But I can't really tell you or give you, a confident answer as to whether it gives you a little heads up. It does give you a heads up, obviously, like how I trade it for the daily, my 1-a-day trading strategy, because what I do is I wait for market to open, and then I catch momentum as it moves in that direction. So like today when I had this trade, so market opened right here at 6:30, and then it gave me a heads up that momentum was coming down, and that's why I took it. And that's the key thing about having this indicator, is because it gives you a heads up that price is moving down. And then because I saw this and I know how to apply my strategy, I didn't get caught in these fake outs. Like a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people were buying here because, they thought it was going to keep pushing up. So if I go back over here to 6:30, so this is when the market opened. Clearly, a normal person that doesn't have my indicators, so let me take all these indicators off. If you're just looking at the chart like this, what do you see? You see that price is trending up pretty heavy. So you're not going to take any sells, right? You're only going to take buys. And that's where you're wrong, because you're thinking that it's going to keep coming up, but you don't have the 2 indicator. So you don't know, you don't have the same heads up that I do, because I know price is going to come down. Because if I turn this on, I got a sell signal right there. So I got a sell signal. People still think that price is going up, but the first signal that I got was a sell. So I know that this is the direction that price is going to be moving for the rest of the day, because this is the first momentum candle that I have on the open of the New York Stock Exchange. So the thing is, if you don't have my indicator, you're obviously going to keep thinking that price is going to go up. So you're going to enter a buy right here, normal person. So market open right here, and then price kept pushing up. So if I go back right here, see a normal person, if you're looking at the chart, and then market opened right here at 6:30, and you saw these strong bullish candles, what would a normal person think? A normal person would think that price is so bullish and price is going to keep pushing up. So what would you do? You enter a buy right here. And then there you go, you write it up. And then what happens? The stop loss gets hit because you don't know what direction price is moving. This is how you get faked out, because you don't know you have no edge. Like a normal person doesn't have an edge, because I have my indicator here, and I already know that the first signal told me that momentum was going to be coming down. So I wouldn't have gone caught in these fake outs where price is going up. And that's why I entered my sell right here. And, I didn't get caught in that. So although people kept buying because they thought, that price was going to keep pushing up, because obviously it's in a very strong uptrend. Why would you sell? The thing is, I have the edge because I have the indicator. So people are here buying, and I'm prepping for this sell right here. And what happens? I win. Easy as that. So I mean, if you know how to trade properly, and you don't trade like everyone else, then you can have a clear edge in the market. But if you trade like everyone else, you're just going to get stopped out, just like how everyone else does. So yeah, I mean, I can't give you a straight answer as to whether this gives you a heads up before news happens, but just by following my daily strategy, I mean, it clearly hits. Like here, we had a win, and the same with over here. So on the 4th, this actually would have freaked out a couple people too. So like, let's see. Aaron, do you remember what news got released on Monday? Oh yeah. So what happened here was, like I said, on over the weekend, what's his name? Warren Buffett said that, well, he announced that he sold all of his airline stocks. So obviously, dumping stocks, people aren't going to be buying stocks, right? So, the thing is with my K2 indicator. So if you're just looking at the chart like without the indicator, you probably think it's in a downtrend, because if you're gonna line this up like that, or I mean, honestly, I don't know how you draw this. So this kind of looks like a decent trend line down. But so like right here, you would think that price is going to keep going down, right? But if you have the indicator, you can wait for that signal. Oh yeah, let's signal right here. Oh yeah, so right here, you would think that price is going down, obviously, because it's, if you draw trend lines, that's what you're going to see. And then, once price opened right here at 6:30, and then you saw price starting to come closer to this area right here, what would a normal trader do? They would try to sell on the rejection of whatever off the trend line. So see, this is what people are thinking right here. So as price came up here, most traders, they would enter a sell. So this rejection candle, textbook sell right there because it rejected off the trend line. You enter a sell right here. What happens? Goes up, hit your stop loss. The thing is, I have an edge in the market because I have my indicator here telling me that the first momentum signal is saying a buy. So market opened right here at 6:30. Market opened at 6:30 right here. I would have waited for my signal right here. It told me to buy. So even though the trend is going down, I trust momentum. So instead of taking that sell, what most people were taking, I would have taken a buy right here, like I said earlier, for 2,000 pips. And then take that ride on upwards to profit. And I mean, yeah, I guess it does give you an edge. It gives you like a little heads up. I mean, yeah, if we know the specific times for news releases and stuff like that, then you can go ahead and match that up and back test it yourself. But I personally I don't trade off news. I just trade during the stock exchange open. But yeah, you can apply this in so many other ways. There's not just one way to apply it. So let me go down the questions again. Okay, cool. So I'm done with that one. John said, question is asked, would apply to US 30 or any index? The K2 indicator, the momentum indicator, works on pretty much all assets. It's not just US 30. You can pretty much use it. I mean, like how you saw me analyze US 30, S&P. You can pretty much use it on any indice. If you want to use it on, what else is there? If you want to use it on gold, it works on gold right here. You can take whatever momentum swings that you see. If you want to trade platinum, or what's platinum? I think I took it off my chart. But yeah, if you want to trade any other indices, if you want to trade the Australian index, you can use it for that too. If you want to use it for platinum, works for platinum, works for Bitcoin. I mean, man, I saw this right here. If you guys took this right here, you guys could have made a ton of money on Bitcoin. Does this buy signal? Damn, it shot up what, 20? Yeah. How much is this, Aaron? Is this 2,000?
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Let's see.
So if you took that buy signal right there,
yeah, that's 2,000.
Yeah, you could have locked in 2,000 off this.
Yeah, Bitcoin moves pretty crazy. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, it moves crazy, but the thing is, it works so well with the indicator because it's
exactly. Yeah, can't go wrong with K2.
Yeah, it's able to detect the I mean, pretty much the move before it actually happens. Like right here, if you caught this huge move, caught this, you could scalp it down. Caught this move up here, caught this move down. It pretty much works for any asset. It works especially good for stocks. So if you want to trade whatever stocks, what's a good stock? Tesla. So if you're trading stocks, obviously you're gonna go in the lower time frame because obviously you're not gonna trade on the 4-hour. If you're trading intraday, yeah, pretty much you can apply the strategy for stocks too. I mean, honestly, I don't trade stocks anymore, so I don't know what you guys trade on. I used to trade on the 15, so trade on the 15. You can take whatever entries you guys find. But yeah, it just goes to show that the strategy works for all. Actually, I think I used to trade on the 5-minute. So you trade on the 5-minute, you can apply it to pretty much any asset that you want to apply it to. So let's see. I'm gonna go to Derek's question. Actually, Derek's not here anymore, so I might just skip over that question. Oh, we've been on this for just realized we've been on this call for like nearly 3 hours. But let's see. Okay. I'm gonna skip Derek's question because he's not here.
Right here.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you said, my bad. I thought you called my name.
Oh no, I said Derek because Derek had a question for he had a question for GC. I'll just go over real quick. We have a GC position. So I think our position's a buy for GC. So over here. No, we have a sell actually. Yeah, so our GC, just gonna look at it real quick. It's the same setup that I marked up earlier. I still think it's coming down. We have a sell signal. We have a sell momentum signal right here. So obviously momentum going down. We came down right here, traced up, we off this resistance, and this candle right here looks like a strong bearish candle. So I'm anticipating this to shoot down. So if you're looking for a GC, I did make a GC call, and it's a sell. So that's that for that one. Let me see who else is here. Okay, Hassan wants me to look at AC, so I'll go back to on CHF. Yeah, so right here we have a buy signal. This signal is from I think Sunday. Let's see, or Monday actually. So Monday afternoon we took a buy signal right here, and I was using the zone strategy. Pretty much, I think it's gonna keep coming up. Yeah, it hasn't finished making that full move yet. So I took this entry once we had that buy signal and it broke this resistance right here. So the full move is that it's going to keep pushing up from here up to the next zone, which is up here. There's no other nearby zone. So as you can see here, price comes and it tests the zone. So it goes from zone to zone to zone to zone to zone to zone, and then the next zone's right here. Or it might even go farther up to here. Create a double top and then shoot down. But yeah, if you're looking at AC, I see it coming up. You can see it's a strong bullish candle right here. So it looks like it came up or trades down a little bit. Looks like prime entry for a buy right here. You can probably buy it and then write it up. Our full TPs right here. I think that's going to be hit probably by midnight once London opens for 45 pips. So that's AC for you. Let me see what else we got here. Let me go back down the chat. I'll see if I missed anything because I kind of skipped around. Let's see. Mine said, when is the best time to trade NASDAQ? So pretty much all the indices, the best time to trade them is going to be during the open of the New York Stock Exchange because that's, when most volatility is present because people are trading stocks during that time. So generally, the time I would trade any indice to, have the best results would probably be during New York session. So that'd be 6:30 Pacific Daylight Savings Time, which is my time. Up until 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. So during that time, that's when you're going to see the most movement. You're still going to see movement during London and in Asia, but it's not going to be as fast as in New York because that's when the New York market is open. Let's see, and the best time frame would. Oh, no, actually, you're not asking time. You're just asking the best time. So yeah, it'd be during New York hours. So 6:30 my time till 2 p.m. Prudencia said, I look as if it follows the same trend. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, all the indices usually move in the same direction. However, I think NASDAQ moves different because you have more tech stocks in their within their fund. So if you looked at those three on Monday, they moved like totally different. So let's go to the 1 hour. So right here on Monday, it was coming down a little bit and then it shot up. But if you look at NASDAQ on Monday, it just went straight up. It didn't come down at all. And the S&P, see like for the US 30, it went kind of sideways, or it actually went down for a bit before it shot up. For NASDAQ, it was just going up the entire time. And the only reason I knew this was because I usually listen to CNBC in the morning, and they're talking about how NASDAQ is moving opposite of US 30. And as you can see right here, it moves a little different. It's slightly different. It's not a huge difference. S&P moves closer to US 30, but NASDAQ kind of moves in its own direction because they have different stocks. NASDAQ has 100 stocks, mostly tech stocks, while the S&P has 500 stocks, and they're kind of mixed. While the US 30 only has 40 stocks, and I think it has less tech stocks. I mean, there's a couple of tech stocks in there like Apple, probably Microsoft, Apple, and a couple other stocks, but NASDAQ has more tech stocks, and that's why it shot straight up. Let me see. HJ said, can you show the indicators again? Yeah, so for the indicators, so I'll just take all the indicators off first. So the first indicator I'll show you is going to be the K² trend meter. So down here we have the trend meter. Let me go to a different asset so it looks a little smoother. Let's go to BJ. Yeah, okay, cool. So actually the one that I'm not trading. So for the trend meter down here, what the trend meter does is it gives you the overall trend on 4 different time frames. So I have it set to intraday settings. And if you go to the settings, you can change the time frame. So I have it to the 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. And this pretty much gives you the general overview of what's going to be happening throughout the day. Because the 30-minute will tell you what's happening right then and there. And then the 4 hour is going to show you what's going to happen, 4 to 8 hours moving forward. Or even more actually, so 4 to probably 4 to 12 hours. So I have these settings here, and once the trend meter turns green, this basically tells you that the overall trend is trending upwards on those 4 time frames. If it's blue, this means that price is neutral. So this would mean that price is either trending down on some time frames and it's trending up on other time frames. So when they don't all align, it's going to turn blue down here, and this is basically going to tell you that the trend is neutral. And as you can see right here, it looks like price tried to reverse, but then it went sideways, and that's why it was neutral. However, if it's red, this signifies that the trend is trending downwards. And as you can see here, if you're drawing parallel lines, it's clearly trending down. And as it's red right here, that shows you that this is the point in time where the trend down is strong. So that's the first indicator, the K² trend meter. The next indicator is the K² indicator. This is the original indicator that basically gives you indication as to the direction of momentum. So if you get a sell signal, it'll tell you the direction of momentum. We'll look at it on the higher time frame because it's a little choppier on the low time frames. So as you can see here, when you get a sell signal, it basically moves down. I don't know what happened. It looks like there was a lot of news around this point in time. So there was news right here. It probably affected, whatever happened. If you see a signal when it's out in the open, like right here we have a buy signal. There's no news that was released around this time. You can see after we got a buy signal, it pushed on upwards. Similar right here, we got a sell signal, but there was a bunch of news. So this probably affected price. But pretty much what this indicator does is it gives you a heads up as to the direction of price. And then lastly, we have the K2SR indicator. So the K2SR indicator is short for K2 support resistance. And what it does is it automatically plots the support resistance on the chart for you. So, so let's rewind it somewhere over here. And you can see the lines are on the chart currently. These are the strongest resistance points that have been plotted. Generally, these points have been tested more than twice. So if price reached and rejected that same exact price point more than twice, then that's when this horizontal line will be established. If it's only been tested once, then it's not going to establish. But as you can see, as price moves forward, it's going to automatically plot the lines for you. So right here, there were no lines before. If we zoom out, right here, there were no lines. But then over here, you can see that these lines start to appear. So right here, as price keeps moving, it just keeps plotting new support resistance on the chart for you. So right here, you can see that some of them take a little longer to adjust, and that's only because price hasn't tested there a second time anytime recently. So if it tested right here, it probably tested it way back sometime in the past. So if you look at right here, it looks like it tested at some point in this zone. And this makes it easy for you so that you can see exactly what price is going to reject from if it's moving that direction. So price came down, rejected, came up, rejected, came down, rejected, so on. And it just makes things a whole lot easier because you know exactly where price is going to bounce off from. And yeah, pretty much that's pretty much a simple breakdown as to how each indicator works. If you have access to the K2 course, we go more into detail, and then we show you guys strategies, how to apply them and how to put them together to apply the different K2 strategies that we apply for all the premium members. So let me see what else we got here. All right, so we're getting to Craig. Sorry, Craig, took so long, but let's see. Craig said, since I'm looking on the 10-minute time frame, would it make sense to consider? Let's see. All right, Craig. So you're asking, would it make sense to consider other K2 trend timelines? Oh, okay. So I think I know what you're asking. So are you asking if we should adjust the K2 trend meter to shorter time frame, since we're trading on a shorter time frame, trading on 10-minute? I'm assuming that you're wondering if we should change the trend meter settings to show on the shorter time frames for like scalping and whatnot. So yeah, if I was scalping, personally, I wouldn't change it because the intraday still gives me a bigger, like a wider picture as to where trend is going to be during that time period. But the only problem with trying to find trends during COVID market conditions is that you're not really going to find very many trends. And if you do find trends or if price is trending, I mean, if you've been following US30 for the past 2 months, it doesn't really respect, fundamentals or technicals as much as, as it usually does. So personally, I would just avoid the trend, like the trends completely when trading US30, specifically just during this time, because obviously you can see right here, there's clear trends back in like, so this is April. I mean, it's trending, but it's not trending very strongly. It's just, it's moving sideways and then it trends for a little bit, and then it comes down heavily. It doesn't really respect the trend. So right here, the overall trend was up, but it came down pretty heavy right here for about over 5,000 pips. So as you can see, price doesn't really respect the trend during these market conditions. So personally, I would just avoid the trend meter altogether during this time. Because US30 is going to move as it wants, and it's just going to be manipulated pretty much every day by the whales and the market makers. And that's just from my experience, just from trading US30 during these time conditions. Because if you go to, so if we go to when COVID wasn't going around, like you can see here when the price is trending up, it's clearly trending up. It's trending upwards. Right here, it's trending down, so it comes down pretty hard. And they're pretty clear trends. If the trend meter is green, it's clearly trending. It's red, it's trending down. Right here, it's red, trending down. But then if you come over to current time, right here, this is March, so this was like before COVID became a big deal. But right here, you can see it doesn't really respect it as much as it normally does. So late March, this is when COVID got a lot bigger. Right here, even though it was trending up, it was only pushing up a little bit. Same right here, we have a trend meter, but it's pushing down. So, I mean, it's really up to you. It's all personal preference, but from my own experience, I personally wouldn't trend trade US30. I would basically just trade it or scalp it as it is. Scalp it or use the 1 trade a day strategy that I've been using. So let's see. I went through all the questions, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, you guys could feel free to put them out. But we've been on this webinar for about 3 hours now. So I think I'm going to get off so I can grab some dinner. But if you guys do have any other questions, feel free to drop the questions in the Telegram, and either me or Aaron can answer your questions. Otherwise, we're going to be back on this webinar again next Thursday, same time, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you guys want to hop on that, feel free to bring some questions, and then we can meet then. All right, guys, it was a great live trading room and training webinar for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later.